I think he's a
And welcome back. We are live in Gainesville, Georgia, about 50 miles north of Atlanta, Georgia, for the first time ever in America. The 2018 Dragon Boat World Championships are here and happening in this former Olympic venue held during the 1996 Summer Olympic Games. And this world-class flat water is leading to some amazing competition today and day one of 4 total days. I'm Tom Sullivan along with Taco Proper. And what a great race day we've had so far, Taco.
It has, and the U.S. is doing very well. We just saw the first race in the afternoon. Germany just pipped America just by, I think, maybe a second in the semifinals. But we are doing very well overall. We have 13 teams for the people just signing in right now, and I'm going to read them. Okay, so hopefully you will hear your country.
Do it.
USA first, Switzerland, Italy, Armenia, Germany, Canada, Russia, Hungary, Ukraine, Czech Republic, Bangladesh, Philippines, and France.
Wow, you know, if we'd like to follow, we can find the schedule and the information about this. We have it on Clockcaster, CLOCKCASTER.com, and just search Dragon Boat World, Dragon Boat 2018, and you can kind of follow along with the events as they're scheduled. You know, I know you mentioned your friend, Coach Jim Odell.
Jim Odell, yes.
And he was saying that really Team USA, the members of Team USA are from all over the country, and it's not possible for them to get together to practice, you know, all the time.
As much as they want, yes.
So there's a slight disadvantage for Team USA, although we've done really well,
yes,
having won a few of the heats earlier this morning.
Yes, it's chemistry is very important with the team. And even at this level, and everyone is attuned to the mastery of the sport, it's good to have to reach this level, to have at least, I would say, 15, 20 practices, if not more, to really fine tune. This comes down to milliseconds, just like the Olympics with Michael Phelps or Usain Bolt.
Right.
So that is a slight disadvantage over a country, let's say Germany, coming from Munich, where they practice over and over and over again, let's say 4 days, 5 days a week for 2 or 3 hours a day to reach this point. So that gives them a very bigger advantage than us. We only have, let's say, half a dozen practices.
Yeah, and I was reading here in this this program, the interview with Jim, it talks about like the Russian team, for example. You know, they're together all the time. They train together all the time. Which really, if you look at, I mean, how that translates into winning medals and winning the event back in 2016, which was the date for the last World Championships in Russia. I mean, there were 46 events, and all categories. The Russian Federation claimed 32 out of 46 world titles.
Sometimes it can be a point where if you have a team to reach this level and you really dedicated yourself, basically, sometimes teams go off for 6 months at a time, and they are sponsored either by the state or by a company, let's say Mercedes-Benz or BMW in Germany, and they go to, let's say, a Camp Dragon Boat, and they stay under one roof, and they sleep under one roof, they eat under one roof, and all they do is practice. And they're a team, so when they know each other, they know all their interests. You know, they know everything about each other, and that builds. No matter what people say, and I know this as a fact, it builds strength, and it builds unison. So when you put all those 10 or 20 in a boat, they have an edge, and you can't put it down to, let's say, IBM's Watson to tell me why. It just is. Compared to, let's say, the 5 or 10 practices that Jim Odell has of the U.S. team that come in from all around the country, and they're very fine-tuned, compared to a team like that, what has been underneath a tent, and they know everything about each other. So when they get in a boat, they have an edge, and it is what it is.
Well, Jim Odell, in the interview I'm reading, he talks about, you know, the Team USA paddlers are all amateurs. But what does he mean by that? Because, I mean, these are superior athletes. So is he saying that based on the fact that they're not training all the time, they would be considered like an amateur? But I don't see that really.
No. What that means is that you hear a lot about, let's take China, for example, okay? The Chinese government will take you, let's say, if you're 4 or 5 years old, a prodigy, and play the piano.
Yes.
They will put money behind you. They will give the parents money, and they will take the child from the home. And I'm not saying that this happens, and train them to be a pianist, and they just train them 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, or a gymnast. The same with dragon boating. Many of the countries, many of the countries, not naming any in particular, get a stipend from the government. And if they do well, if they do medal, they will get money from the government. So in a sense, they are called professional. But in the grand scheme of the world, they are an amateur. As an American, the people that come here are paid for usually by the parents or whatever. It's rarely. It's like in football when you're in college. And correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody from college can't be paid $1 million for the Dallas Cowboys before they go pro. Is that right?
Right. That's something. Yeah.
Is that essentially
I
right?
don't believe they're unable to take a
money.
salary. Yes,
Okay.
money.
So, in some of these Eastern Bloc countries, they take it so they are called pros. And the same with the Olympics also. I mean, how can you tell an amateur from a pro? I mean, at the level of Michael Phelps and Rodney Gaines and all these other pros. So that's where the Thinks Professional come in, because they do get help from the government.
Right, and let's kind of set the table for where we are. Again, this is world-class flatwater up in Gainesville at Lake Lanier's Olympic Park. And Lake Lanier, for those of you not familiar with the Atlanta area, Lake Lanier is a 38,000-acre lake with over 600 miles of shoreline. And this is where Atlanta is a reservoir. This is where Atlanta gets a lot of their drinking water. But it's also huge for recreation with various marinas and different attractions on the lake. And this just happens to be one used for the '96 Olympic Games. And there are still some of the original dragon boats here from those games.
Not many, but some.
Yeah, and so the boats that you're seeing on the competition today and throughout the next 3 days till Sunday
Are not from '96.
right. They're not. These are all shipped over by Champion from China. Champion manufactures these boats.
One of our sponsors.
Yes, one of our amazing sponsors. And so actually some of the boats are still for sale. So if you're thinking, wow, I really love this sport, I'd love to have a piece of history for the first time in America, you can. I believe about a few boats remain. You can find out more about that by going to the official website for the event, which is Lanier Dragon Boat 2018.com. That's LANIER. And you can learn all about, that's the official website for the event. People can find everything they need to know there.
And we just spoke, I think Tom, you spoke to somebody about 1 hour ago, a gentleman, saying that we have some boats still for sale.
Yes.
And so saying that, we're on Clockcaster, CLOCKCASTER.com.
Yes.
And it will show you the time of the race and the actual countries participating. So right now we have a race going on, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Canada, USA in lane 5. And you can see it now live. So if you want to get real-time, up-to-date information on that, go to the website. It's better than what I can provide you. I'm looking at it right now, and you can also. It's open to the public.
Yeah, and then race is underway right now. And what lane is Team USA?
USA is in lane 5.
Okay. Of course, you hear, if you're just tuning in, you hear the drummers. The drummers on every boat helping keep the paddlers in unison. And the steerer in the back can be talking to the athletes as they're paddling. And look at this. I love this, all in unison, working together as one team, as one, towards a certain, all the same destiny.
Look how close that is.
Yeah, it's amazing. 4 and 5, right, neck and neck.
Yeah.
Neck and neck of the Dragons. Look at that.
Okay. Oh, boy. They're going awfully slow.
Here we go.
Number 3 just won. Italy just won.
It's Italia showing up. I think it's the first time I've heard their name mentioned.
Yeah, Italy just won. That. Our next race will be at 1:30. And in that race we have USA, Canada, and Canada at 1:30.
Okay.
So that's going to be now we're coming into the semifinals right now, Tom. So now the cream is, as they say, rising to the top.
Yes, Taco.
And so when you have the semifinals and finals, it's exciting because the boats are very closely matched in time, and it provides a more energetic and more exciting race As the countries come down to the finish line, it's not like one team is 3 boats back or forward. It's very tight, and now it comes down to heart, will, practice, and all the years of experience.
Yeah. And, so if you want to come join and see the action as it happens, you can come out here. There's free admission to sit down on our seating right here in front of the action and watch the Dragon Boat races happen. We're here through Sunday. And it's funny because during our lunch hour, we had a break for an hour just recently. I was able to go out into the food plaza because we have food trucks out there and vendors with different wares, and souvenir shops selling everything from stuffed dragons to T-shirts and things like that. I saw a lot of the teams at the different food trucks. The Czech team was checking out the frozen coffee drinks.
Right.
And I saw another team down here at the hamburger truck. But everyone, you can mix with the athletes on their breaks and photos and things like that.
The athletes are all under one big tent. They're all together. I just saw some Germans coming out. They were asking me if there was any wurst around here.
Oh,
any special German sauerkraut. And I said, unfortunately not.
Were they asking about any German beer? Because I would love to have a cold one.
Yeah, no, I didn't. You didn't mention beer because of there, but they mentioned about the sauerkraut and the wurst.
Yeah, I would love a good dog with some kraut on it.
But in talking, we have a roving reporter out there.
We do, Greer.
Greer, she's from the Atlanta Falcons, I believe.
Braves.
Atlanta Braves. And she is doing personal interviews with some of the countries and their coaches and participants, and so that will be coming on today and tomorrow, every now and then.
Yeah, we love the perspective that she can bring, or perhaps which one of our reporters may be out there, speaking to the athletes and kind of getting the behind-the-scenes perspective from their, what they're seeing out there, and really, just being able to have your perspective because you've done this, you've lived it, you've been on the boats. And I love that you say, we have a lot of practice that goes on in flatwater lakes, but when you were in Hong Kong, you were practicing in the ocean and dealing with the waves and different elements there.
Right. I grew up in Hong Kong. I lived there 25 years, and as well as spending years in Japan and New Zealand. And, so we really don't have, so to speak, a lake like this, which is magic. We always practice in the ocean. So no matter how close we were to the shore, we have a lot of boats. So freighters and big ships, with thousands of containers used to pass us, and we used to go under. One wave and we're finished.
Yeah, one wave you're down.
The boats, though, don't sink.
That's good.
And we just stay with it. We're just kind of used to that. But the conditions up here are ideal. You can see from the camera feed right now, the water is calm, and there's not much current, and that's very important. But again, we have teams which are like a fine-tuned BMW engine that can cut through it all, but we don't have any waves. Sometimes when it's windy, we have a little bit of white tips.
Yeah.
And which can cause problems and whatever, and can slow the boats down. Mm-hmm. But we are, even though this is an amateur event, everybody out there are I would consider professional amateurs, because every single person in every boat knows what they are doing intimately.
Yeah, watching this as someone who's not really familiar with the Dragon Boat racing, it's great to see it in action and see, what last night was the opening ceremony, and I've talked about this on the broadcast before, but it was very much like the Olympics with the parade of athletes entering the arena, and yeah, it was just really, it made me feel great as an American to see the Americans. We look at how still the water is, but also the weather is playing a big element, as you mentioned, Taco, with the winds picking up from Hurricane Florence. It's presently about 85 degrees here, yep, and the sun's poking through the clouds. But as Hurricane Florence edges closer and potentially makes a turn towards the venue area, maybe towards the weekend, that could play a role in how the performances and the teams are interacting with the water in the race.
Yeah, the big thing about that, and let's hope for the best. Dragon boaters are quite hardy. They've endured a lot in reaching this point. Mm-hmm. It's not that they've gone to a pristine lake which has got a wave on it. To reach this point, they've gone through thunderstorms, they've gone through white tips. Mm-hmm. So outside of an emergency situation, let's say we have lightning or something like that, that's one thing. But the only thing that I worry about is water and rain. When you have water in a dragon boat, it weighs the boat down. Yes, everybody is in the same boat, so to speak.
Yeah.
We have 4 or 5 boats racing every race, but paddlers do not like weight in their boat. And then it comes into a situation where we have buckets, a lot like what she cut in half with a knife to get the water out. And then you'll have one team saying, well, they have 4 buckets and we have 2 buckets, and they're lighter than we are, and we're heavier than they are. And that's a problem, especially at this level where a race can be won or lost within 1 or 2 seconds.
Right.
So water in a boat is, the waves they can handle to a certain extent. I'm not talking about a 4-foot wave. And winds they can handle at this level. But rain, if it's a downpour or whatever, that's a problem.
Yeah, and with Hurricane Florence, if you're watching and you've evacuated from the Carolinas and you happen to be joining us now, we know what you're going through, and our prayers are with you and your families and everyone who's, if you're potentially still there, and the path of the storm, hunker down if you haven't already left. But as it gets closer and makes more of a turn that they're forecasting, we'll just see what this plays here on the lake here at Lake Lanier at the Olympic venue. And the next race has already started, Taco.
The next race has started. We already have, one of our favorite lanes today, which we've won a lot of races in, is lane 3. And this is the women over 40. We have 3 boats, the USA, and then 2 boats from Canada. One has 40 plus, one has 50 plus in age. And we are in lane 3, the USA. If you are looking at this, USA and Canada, 3 boats.
Now, that's interesting that Canada has 2 boats in this. And this is just a heat, right?
No, this is actually a semifinal.
Oh, semifinal, okay.
This is a semifinal, and a lot of this is not unusual. You have many countries that have a couple teams, and they actually battle each other to make it to a point. So, for example, I give this example quite a bit, and I apologize for this. You have, let's say, Jamaica, which has fantastic athletes.
Right.
You have Otto Bolden, and you have Usain Bolt, and many, and so they take the cream of the crop. So you will have situations where countries provide 2 or 3 teams for the same event, because they're so good.
Mm-hmm. And watching now, as you said, we're in lane number 3,
Lane
Team
number
USA.
Lane number 3, yes.
And we're almost halfway to the halfway point, a little more than that, getting close to the finish line.
Halfway.
Here.
You see how, when you see the feed, you see how they lean into it? Look at the front row. You see how together they are?
Yes.
The right side and the left side of a boat has got to be exactly in unison. I'm talking about exactly. And so the right lady and the left lady is looking at each other slightly, so they go in exactly the same time. If they are off, they will not do well.
And it's doing well right now for them because it will look clearly an entire boat length away.
Yeah, they've got this.
Oh,
you see how together they are?
Yes.
You see 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. They all go in the same length.
Let's
you see
get that wide shot cut, and we can see them as they cross the finish line. And Team USA.
Team USA again.
Yes. I must remain impartial. I clap for all teams.
Right. And we are here. We're global. This is a global event. We're sitting here in America next year. I think where it's going to be next year?
It's every 2 years. So
2 years.
It's going to be in India in 2020, and then Ukraine in 2022.
Do we know where in India? In Mumbai or?
No, I didn't write down whereabouts, but you can search that online. Our crack team will get on that. But in 2016, it was in Moscow. So
and the Russians do very well. They're just like anything the Russians and Germans do, for Russians, like ice skating, they dominated the world for many, many years. Mm-hmm. And they have a very good work ethic, and I'm not saying other countries don't.
Right.
But also Russia has a lot of money. Again, we talk about professional athletes. Mm-hmm. So as with China, the Russians, get help. And does that give them an edge? It's here nor there. But they're a team to be reckoned with.
We talk about throughout this broadcast about the athletic prowess, the stamina, the strength that everyone has, especially at Team USA with Jim Odell. He was talking about the athletes for Team USA who paddle work out 3 times a week in the gym. They do yoga twice a week,
Yep.
I guess to center themselves. They stay in shape by running and cycling, in addition to practicing on the water 2 to 3 times a week. So it's almost like a full-time job, so to speak.
It is a full-time job. I mean, people think dragon boating, oh my gosh, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? It's not like running or doing a biathlon or whatever.
Right.
But these, as Tom mentioned, when you do all that, you do yoga, you do cardio, you eat right, your muscle tone, everything comes into play in dragon boating.
Yeah, we're going to get a
We're going
look
to show an image on where it's going to be in 2020. It's going to come up on your screen any second.
Oh, this is good. Okay, I see. Well, actually, I just received it on my phone, but you can't see it, but I'll tell you. And let me show you. Fantastic. And here it is right here. I love technology all the way up to the satellite. And it's in, see if you recognize this.
Is that Mumbai?
No, it's called Indore Bhopal. Indore Bhopal?
Oh, in Bhopal.
Bhopal,
Okay.
yes. So Bhopal. There's nothing actually to see. See? Nothing. just the word.
Indiri
Bhopal.
Bhopal. Okay.
Yeah, so you didn't miss out on anything. We don't want you to miss out on anything, too. You can follow us on different social media channels. The hashtag we want you to use if you're watching, wherever you're watching in the world, is Dragon Boat World 2018. Hashtag Dragon Boat World 2018. Put that on anything, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we'll populate those and try to put some of those up on our website. But our primary goal is to stay in communication with you through our Slido.com, SLIDO.com. Once you get to Slido.com, just enter the hashtag Dragon Boat World 2018, and there you'll be able to access a communications page where you can submit questions, something you want to see happen or something that you're not seeing, or you want to just give a shout out to your favorite team or athletes. That's the best way to stay in touch with us. Or our big sponsor, Springer Mountain Farms, and their website is springermtn.com, and there you can find live streams and links to their other platforms like Roku on the Roku channel.
And we have, as Tom mentioned, Slido.com. If you do have questions, we can look at it right here, right in front of us. So we can't answer all your questions, but we can answer several of them. And every now and then we will look at that and see what you have. Again, if you need to know about the teams, about the countries, about the timing of the races, let's say you're sitting and you're rooting for, let's say, Armenia or Ukraine or Germany or whatever your favorite country is, the best way to get information and the most up-to-date, because this changes now with the weather situation and everything else. Everything changes all the time. Dragon boating is not, it's a very fluid thing. So you go to Clock, C-L-O-C-K, Caster, C-A-S-T-E-R.com, and it will give you the name of the country, the heat, if it's semifinal, final, women's, men's, mixed, senior, or whatever. All the information is there, and it's uploaded and up to date, literally every minute.
So so you can follow all the stats there, and of course follow the live stream here on Slido.com and the other platforms, as I mentioned. And we talk about this venue, a gold standard facility, really, since the 1996 Summer Olympic Games, and then continuing with many different water sports like canoe and kayak championships and national rowing championships, and it's really, and they've upgraded the venue since the 96 Olympics. And if you want to come up here, maybe like you might have heard Taco and I talk about if you've been listening or watching throughout the morning, you can come up here and experience dragon boat racing or kayaking or canoeing, doing that with the Lanier Canoe and Kayak Club. And it's lckc.org. But what a great way to get a team together or a team building event for your office, or maybe to raise money for your favorite charity if you are a charity. It's a great way to get up here and experience dragon boat racing firsthand.
And not only that, I mean, as I said, for team building, and as Tom mentioned, this facility up here is one of the best around. I mean, yes, there are different parts of America. If you're living in America, in California, I could name many, many states. But this venue, this area, if you're into kayaking, if you're into rowing, dragon boating, water sport, canoeing, this is the place to be. We have the facilities, we have the trainers, we have the coaches. The water here we're protected. This is a lake, trees all around us. To get the conditions to learn and to educate yourself are second to none in the world. And I've been working with this group for many years, and I can attest to it firsthand. Also, as we mentioned earlier, that many of our athletes have, even from here, even right today, some of our dragon boat team is made up of people all across America, but several are from LCKC that are in this race today and tomorrow, the next day. And we have Olympians which have gone into rowing and canoeing, from LCKC. So we are like we are a facility which produces world champions.
And not only that, this facility, Taco, is producing tons of revenue for the Gainesville community, $5 to $6 million a year, and impacting with tons of visitors here. Like 15,000 cars came through in July to the park. And that's why they're making the site better and better and improving it, because it is so valuable for events just like this.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
It is. We're very lucky to be here, and as you said, this is the first time it's been in America.
Yeah.
And so just like soccer was the first time we came to America several years ago. We want to be part of the global world, because living in Hong Kong as I was. I mean, when I mentioned dragon boating when I came to America when I was 18 years old for the first time, they looked at me as, what am I talking about? What they had no clue what dragon boating was back in the 70s. I think we've come a long way. It's a growing sport. It's a global sport, and it bridges all ages. It's not. I've coached many years and was a steerman. And one of the last teams I had was a group from the Villages in Florida, the biggest retirement community I believe in the world. I know it's in America the biggest, and it could be in the world. Where I had a group of veterans, Marines, 70, 75 and over, even up to 80. And they were proud, and they did well, and they enjoyed it, for as long as they could. So, and you can go all the way down to, 8 or 9 or, 6 years old. That's when I got introduced to the sport.
Yeah, it's an all-encompassing sport.
Yes, it is,
It's
yes.
equal opportunity too, and a 2,000-year-old sport, which really, the Chinese culture, dragons, I love this, are seen as deities of the water. And we have some more deities of the water as we just started another race. Who's in this race, Taco?
I think it's the, what time is it?
So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4 boats that I see coming down.
Yeah. Okay. I believe, we supposedly have 6 boats in this race. You only count 4?
I only see 1, 2, 3, 4 from my vantage point.
Yeah,
here.
so we have supposedly Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Germany, USA, and Canada. Now, maybe 2 boats didn't make it, but that's what the computer is telling me as of right now for the 140 race.
Cool. And of course, all the results, unofficial results, are at Clockcaster, CASTER.com. Just search Dragon Boat there.
You can see from the feed that we have right now, you see, as it goes in, if you can count it, 1, 2, 1, 2. They're all together. It's like a locomotive. It's like a machine. And they have different gears. They can up the speed and down the speed as they want. Now, of course, during 95% of this race, it's racing speed. At the very beginning of the race, they do a different speed to get the boat from a stationary position to go. And then they go flat out until the end, until the very last part, they will increase the speed a little bit.
Do you think increasing the speed from the get-go would just be fruitless because you're just blowing it out too soon?
Yes.
Got to save it for the finish. And here we go in lane number 4. Clearly out in lead right now by almost an entire Dragon Boat length. USA. It's been lucky for us. 3 and 4.
Well, 5 is, they must have changed the lanes. They must have changed the lanes on us. That does look like the USA with their colors.
Yeah.
It's unusual to see a steerman sitting down like that. You see that?
Right. I noticed that.
They basically do it because of air, because of aerodynamics.
Sure. And here's our wide shot too, at the finish line.
Yeah,
and
there it
yes,
is.
wow, big, strong finish for USA.
It looked like the USA because it looked like their colors.
Yeah, it did.
It just didn't show on this thing for.
I hear the crowd chanting USA.
Right.
Rightly so here in America.
What lane was that?
Lane 4.
Lane 4. Okay.
But wow, that was awesome. So I was getting back to the history of the event. Dragon boat racing came about due to a poet named Chu Yan who learned about the downfall of his kingdom. He left into the Milo River, and everyone went after him, beating their drums and racing out to save him in their boats, trying to scare away the dragons. And so that's how it all began. And so to see the dragon boats here in person is quite thrilling, to see them up close and personal. And as I said, some are still for sale if you'd like to have one for your lake or your pool. And again, our official website for the event, you can learn more about the entire event if you're just tuning in for the first time and dragon boat racing is brand new for you. Lanier Dragon Boat 2018.com. That's Lanier, like Lake Lanier, but Lanier Dragon Boat 2018.com. And as Taco and I have been talking about, this is free to get in, doesn't cost a thing, small parking fee right across the street from the venue, and come up here and enjoy this action for 4 days. World champions for any age, any family member, any type of individual who would love to see something different. This is the place to be up at the Olympic Park at Lake Lanier.
Right, and you said the key word is something different.
Yes.
I mean, most people that I know, you do the same things over and over. Maybe it's a concert, maybe it's a botanical garden day, maybe it's a flea market, maybe it's a street market. This, for most Americans, is very different.
Have you been looking at my schedule?
No. And so, I mean, this is something very unique.
It is.
Now, for myself that have been in the sport for many years, it's not. But I know, probably most people I know look at me when I say dragon boat, they have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally.
So this is a unique thing for you to experience. We're here 4 days, hopefully. And we have good food. We have avid parking. You don't need to make a reservation. We're about an hour from north of Buckhead.
Yeah.
Jump in the car, and it's something that you don't experience every day of your life. Plus, excuse me, we have the added bonus that this is the World Championships.
World Championships, Taco.
So it can't get any better than this. I mean, we have
Team USA.
We have a great friend.
Yeah, come over here, man.
Come over the line?
Yeah, do it. Have you been in the water today?
No, not today.
Not today.
Today's not my day.
Well, hey, come on over here. Talk in my earpiece right here. What's your name?
My name is Eric Hall.
So tell us about the morale of the team. How y'all feeling? You've been doing well on the water.
We feel great.
Are you in the open division?
We are the senior division.
The senior,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
But you're not over 50, though. You're not over
Oh,
40.
no, I think I'm old. I'm 38 years old.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm about to be 40 soon, but
Okay.
we're in the senior division, which is pretty good competition out there.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Where are you from?
I am from Charlotte, North Carolina, so they're getting hit the hurricane right now. So unfortunately, some of the people that are supposed to come down here are not
Okay.
able to come. But we're still going to represent USA at the best of
Yeah.
our ability. of
How
course.
many times were you guys able to practice down here before today
We
with
had
the whole team?
Several times. Actually, we got here a week ago. We practiced as a team for a week. We had a training camp here for 3 or 4 days. So we got a good portion of time.
Who's been your steerman? Jim Odell?
Jim Odell, big old Jim.
Yeah.
How do you feel the chemistry is because all of you come from different parts of America? How did it go that week when you were all put into a boat together to gel? How did it work out?
So what happens is you go back to home, right, and you go to your festivals, and you pretty much go back to your old strokes, right? We have a particular stroke that we stick to. So when
Right.
you come back, and you have to really get back into the mood of the stroke of what Jim and what Mike Blondell teaches us. So
Right.
it takes some time. It takes a couple sessions, and then once we gel as a unit, though, get our strokes back to what it needs to be. You see out there, we can do well.
Yeah.
Are you in the front row?
I am not in the front row. I'm usually Well, I don't know where I'm going to be right now, but usually I'm in towards the middle.
Okay.
That's
Are
usually
you're probably in a 20-man boat? Is that right?
Yes, 20 man. And
Do you
10
do
man.
any 10-man boat racing?
Yes, and those boats are tippy.
Talk about the 2,000 meter coming
Yes,
up.
2,000 meters are
All
very.
right. Will you be in that race, the 2,000?
Yeah, I hope so. So 2,000 meters are very fun because you get actually see boats get really close to each other on those turns. So I think those
Yeah.
are the most exciting races. When people actually watch those races, you hear them cheering every time a turn
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
make a long story short, I lived in Hong Kong most of my life, and I've done coaching and racing all my life. So I agree with you on the 2,000. To me, as a steerman,
Yes.
that's to me. I just love it.
Yeah.
But,
2000s are fun.
How many are you now? How many are on the team now? How many men?
Men.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, there's 112 of us total. If you split that up between this, there's different age groups.
Sure.
The men and women. I would say approximately 60 or so men. If you split it between the men and the women. We have
Okay.
our over 50 club. We have our 40 and up club, and we
Yeah.
have our juniors and our.
I'm sorry,
seniors.
I didn't even get your name.
My name is Eric.
Eric.
Eric Hall.
Eric Hall.
Yes.
Taco.
Taco.
I have an interesting name. It's a long story.
Taco. Okay, I like that.
I
Taco
know.
Proper. And
It's a long
Eric,
story.
what was your motivation for wanting to get in? How long have you been in dragon boat racing?
4.5 years. My motivation was I actually started at the corporate level. When you have your original festivals, I started off with the company.
In a regional level.
Yeah, regional level. I was just doing it for my company. And
It's interesting. Let me just hold you to that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that
Yes.
on air. Okay, that and I've coached many banks and corporate companies where you came up for team building,
Yes.
and you had your colleagues with you.
Exactly.
And then from there, you went from there to where you are now, the best in the world.
that's pretty much.
You
yeah,
see, and
it's-
this is what we want you to listen to this gentleman, because we want the
And you want to do it.
because he's gone from his corporate company, and then he went up the ladder to reach now the pinnacle of dragon boating.
Yeah, it's.
And this is exactly what we're talking about. This is one of the people that have gone from coming out here doing regional things, coaching, jumping in and out of boats, doing various events across the country, then saying, "Wow, get the spark."
Yeah, man.
And
That's exactly how it
then he gets the spark, and then I need to go farther. I need to go. Where can I go from here?
Yeah.
And so you are a great example of what we're trying to push across America
Yeah.
to build dragon boating in America,
Yes.
because we know it's at the very low level, and we want to we want to bring people out, like I mentioned, Top Golf. Top Golf.
Yes.
To bring to get companies and stuff like that, so we can have athletes like you to come here.
Yeah.
To represent, to come from your corporate company all the way up to this level.
And that's exactly how it happened. You get that competitive itch, right? You're at the corporate level, you start winning. So, let's see what can happen. You go to
Yeah.
the club level, you
Yeah.
start traveling to different cities, and then you see these other
Yeah.
teammates who are from other cities and say, hey, they're on a national team. What can I do?
Yeah, I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
Eric, have you interacted with other team members from
Yes.
other countries?
Yes, they're fun.
Yeah.
Germany is really, they're really energetic over there. Italy's really fun. France.
Have you gone overseas? Have you gone overseas?
I was a military child, so I've been overseas a few times.
No. Have you
travel with this
w-
sport?
yeah.
No, not yet.
Okay.
This is my first year trying out, and fortunately, I got the nod this year. 2 years from now, it's going to be India. I'm really
Yeah.
leaning heavy to try out for that, and that will be pretty cool to go to India.
Yeah. And then Ukraine 2 years later after that.
So yeah.
How much training? I mean, okay, here you only had a week here, but when you were in your home team, whatever, how much training did you do? How many days in a row during the week? How many hours on the water before you came up to here for a week?
So what you do is you pretty much self-train yourself, right? We do have regional coaches, and my team, unfortunately, has a regional coach who knows the stroke, who knows the rates that we need to focus on. So we practice together as a team 3 or 4 times a week, right?
So you see 3 or 4 times a week, you see?
Yeah.
3 or 4 times a week. It's pretty heavy, and you also want to make sure you're just not paddling. You're getting your strength up.
Right.
There's
So you're in the gym.
There's strength exercises that we do, and we focus on key core exercises like your shoulders, your back, things like that.
So are you doing primarily upper body strength
Yes.
development?
Don't forget the legs, though, because
Right.
a lot of people think that this is all upper body.
Sure.
sport. There is a leg drive that we focus on, and if you miss that leg drive, you're missing a key portion of the stroke. So you have
Yeah.
to work out your legs too.
Right.
So
Well,
What about?
it's a
I'm
full
going
body
to.
exercise for sure.
I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer this on air because it could be confidential. And believe me, I know. I was a coach many years. But if you can't, no problem whatsoever. At the start, before you go into racing speed, what do you do? 10 quick ones, or is that in a team, whatever? Because that's a very big, as I mentioned to
huge,
Tom, to start a boat from stationary to go is a very, very, very big deal. And if you're off the mark from the very beginning of the race, if you're back about a quarter of a boat length, it'll have a major impact.
Yeah, and speaking of which, as we have right now, you know, everything Eric's talked about, you know, Team USA is in this race with, I believe, Czech and I'm not sure the other team is. Switzerland. Yeah, so lane 4 for Team USA. It looks like they're faring pretty well here, Eric.
But my friend, look, pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, Eric,
Thank you so much for your time.
thanks for coming over, man. We appreciate you.
We're proud of you.
Eric Hall, tomorrow. Let's see if you see me out there.
You got it,
America's proud of you.
Thank you, and I hope.
And hopefully your followers can they look online and follow you?
I send it all out, my coworkers, everything. So I'm hoping they're watching now.
Yeah.
Here we go. There we go. Your brothers and sisters crossing the line right there, man.
Yeah.
I love the juniors.
You really love it.
Yes.
What's your youngest member?
The
About
juniors, 14. They have
14.
15-year-olds. Yes.
okay, 14. Okay.
Where can we find you online, Eric?
Well, don't put
Just
that
off the
there.
air. Like on Facebook.
Gotcha.
Anyway, appreciate your time.
No problem. Thank you so
Congratulations to making it to this level in the world.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
No,
We appreciate you.
You're one of, it's and I know I've been doing this before you were born, and you've achieved a great pinnacle. I mean, it's a big deal. This is like climbing Mount Everest in your sport, and to represent America. Even though we have a small base, there's still to reach for you to be chosen is a big deal.
It is a privilege.
Do you want to be a steerman ever?
I do. I actually, after this is done, I want to start at my.
I'm
my
a
college.
steerman.
I want to start steering.
Yeah.
Get involved with that.
I'm a steerman.
I want to do it.
I love you.
That's great, man.
All the
I'm not
best
gonna
to
be
you.
as good as Jim, but I get at least.
I know. Well, he's
That's
been
good,
doing
though.
it since he was born.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you got a great coach over there.
All
too.
the best to you.
Thank you.
All right, Eric.
Have a
Thanks,
great one.
man. That was fun. Great. We have lots of great views today from our perspective, and you're seeing them right now. We have a roaming camera throughout the park, which gives you a different perspective. You're seeing, of course, we've got the cams throughout the whole venue, and you can follow along on our many platforms, slido.com, SLIDO.com, and just type in the event code, which is Dragon Boat World 2018, or you can go to our Springer Mountain Farms website, which is SpringerMTN.com, and you can find links to the Roku channel and see live streams there. And don't forget to use the hashtag Dragon Boat World 2018 on all social media so we can populate your questions, your pictures, your thoughts, whatever you might have on your mind.
Also, I think we're going to cut over to Greer now.
Oh, good.
That we're going to do a roving.
Oh, yeah. Greer's out there in the audience somewhere.
Our roving
All
reporter.
right, guys, I hope
Let's
you
see what
brought your
she's got.
appetite here to Lake Lanier today because I am here with Stephanie from Kabaki's Catering, and you are cooking up a really yummy burger for me over here. So what are you making on the grill right now?
Oh man, two of them I have right now. This is definitely our favorite. It's called the Bacon Blue Burger. It's got blue cheese and bacon. I'm going to be put on our sirloin burger, of course. You got to have the good meat to go with it. So we have that going. And then our other popular one is the cheddar jalapeno as well.
Well, Tom, Taco, you guys are going to have to fight over who's getting what burger, but that's what is coming your way in just a little bit. But Stephanie, tell me a little bit about Kabaki.
Kabaki's Catering, we are in Buford. We're kind of your neighborhood caterer. We just kind of are local in the community. We kind of stay local. We support all of our youth, our teams. We also have a culinary program that we introduced
This
with
is a
Mill
big
Creek
deal,
High
this one.
School
Look.
and with all of their culinary students
This is
that
the
come
final,
in.
okay?
So that's kind of where we are. Kabaki's is nothing really too popular. All it is our children's names, hybrid put together, Kason, Bailey, and Kyle.
So cute. I love that. And okay, and talk a little bit about your ingredients because you're really great. You mentioned local, and you mentioned having really good ingredients is important to making good food. So where you're going local with a lot of your
Who is
food
this
today as
woman
well.
she's talking to?
Yeah,
Is she a
absolutely. As
caterer?
many as times we'll take field trips to Washington Farms.
You guys know?
We'll get our strawberries from there. Some of our eggs from down the road. We try to just really support the community because we want the community to support us as well.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys so much. Kabaki's Catering.
Who was
I am
she, by
here
the
with
way, Matt?
Stephanie.
Who is this guy?
And hey, guys, we got some burgers coming your way.
This is
I love it.
we need
Greer, that was
talk about
great.
this, right? This is a final. This is a very big deal.
Yeah,
Okay, we
that
have
was
6 of the
awesome,
top
Greer.
teams in the
Greer,
final
you
before
know,
they
when you're
do the
talking
20.
food, I
So
love
we
it.
need to go on
And
air,
we
you
got
know,
some
what
great
you
food
know,
up here too, you
we
guys.
need
The
to
food that we
need to
have up here
telecast this
is
race.
from all different types of cultures, and it's our food trucks, which are here at the park at Lake Lanier Olympic Park, located in Gainesville, Georgia, where we're broadcasting live. I'm Tom Sullivan, along with Taco Proper, I want to say, but you're proper. I want to get the proper pronunciation, Taco. Taco
okay.
Proper. And we are bringing you our coverage of the first time in America, 2018 World Championships of Dragon Boat Racing.
It's an exciting time right now. We're going to transition from the 10-person boat to 20. They're getting in position right now. This is the final. This is a very, very big deal. We have Philippines, lane 1, Germany, lane 2, Czechoslovakia, lane 3, Hungary, 4, USA, lane 5, and Germany, lane 6. I feel it's going to be between 5 and 6, between Germany and the USA. That's just my guess. But as you can see, they're lining up right now at the starting point. You see the ruddermen getting the boat in ready.
Yeah.
They're going to make a call, ready, and then they're going to go. So this is in a few seconds now. This is one of the biggest races of today. Okay, over 40. You see they're getting ready. You see that, and the beep will go off in any second, and they're stationary, so they're all exactly at the same point. All 6 boats. Okay, any second they're gonna sound the horn, and all you see the ruddermen. There they go. I can see Jim Odell right now, the steerman right there. He's in lane 5.
And of course, the drummer, who is also helping the paddlers keep time in unison with this, while the steerman, Jim Odell, in the back, is calling out the commands or talking to the team.
Here we go. This is a final. This is the final. So this is going to be one of the key races of today. The last group of the 10-person boat. This is over 40 plus, and so this is what's come down to. We've had a lot of heats today, a lot of semifinals, and now this is the final for the 10-seater for the master over 40. I believe it's between Germany and U.S. I could be wrong.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
But please, no wagering.
No wagering, no. So you are watching this live as we are. The feed is basically live. You see how tight it is? They're just coming up.
I don't see Team USA in our shot.
Okay, the Philippines is already fading out a little bit. Germany and so here we go, right down to the finish line. 3 is in the lead.
Yeah.
Czechoslovakia is in the lead. 4 is Hungary. 2 is Germany. Oh boy, and USA is coming up 4th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who took that one, Taco? Because my vantage point
Czechoslovakia got it.
I was blocked there.
Czechoslovakia got it, and Germany second.
Oh, wow.
USA came 4th. A tight race and a good race.
Yeah, it was.
I can see when Czechoslovakia went over the line, they raised their paddles. They knew they had achieved.
Yes,
achieved greatness.
Yes, absolutely. It's great to see it. That was an exciting race.
It was. So right now we're gonna be off the air for 30 minutes, and during this time we're gonna get the 20-person boats ready. We're gonna go from 10-person boat to a 20, and that adds another flavor to the event. And we'll talk about that later on when we get back on.
We'll see. I think do we have the another timed race? Do we have another one coming up? with the seniors.
I
The
believe
10-seater seniors. You may have a more up-to-date schedule than I do. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Okay, we are going to take a break.
we're going to take a break now. Why don't you say something about our
Yeah,
number one sponsor?
Yeah, thank you, Springer Mountain Farms. Springer Mountain Farms out of Gainesville, family owned and operated for over 40 years with that delicious fresh chicken. And of course, the first poultry producer certified by the American Humane Association for treating the animals
Free
with
range,
respect and
natural.
love. Yeah, we love it. Thank you, Springer Mountain Farms, and also Ivester Foundation, locally here in the Gainesville area with their philanthropy and grant-making foundations, and Champion, striving for excellence and perfection with making our dragon boats. We're glad you're watching the 2018 World Championship Dragon Boat Races live in Gainesville, Georgia. First time in America. It feels good.
It's great. And so we will see all of you back in about half an hour.
Yeah, stay with us. Thanks, man. Thanks, Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Race 25 is underway. This is the first heat of the 500-meter 20-seat senior mixed. Lane 3 is Czech Republic. Lane 4, Hungary.
Take it out of there
Lane
when we
5,
come back,
USA.
Taco? Do you want to take it out when we come back?
Okay.
You want to start it off? Or you want me to say, hey, welcome back to the ICF Dragon Boat World Championship? Yeah. And we are back to the 2018 Dragon Boat World Championships at Lake Lanier. And we've already got a race underway, Taco.
Yeah, this is the 20-person vote. I say person because we have men and mixed, and I don't want to sound sexist. So I say person. We have USA in this race, lane 5. Number 2 is Russia. Number 3 is Czech Republic. Number 4 is Hungary. This is the start of the 20-person boat. We had a 10-person boat this morning. Now we get it ratcheted up. This is really exciting now. If you see the screen, you see the 20 rowers, 1 drummer, 1 steerman. This is where it even gets harder as a paddler. All 20 have got to be exactly at the right timing for the 500 meters. And this really, it adds another level to dragon boating outside the 10. Overall, a steerman, and it's harder for a steerman too to control a 20 than a 10. Okay, so let's watch it down to the finish line and see how we're doing.
And we're Team USA is lane 5. And this is right. Is this right? Hungary, lane 4. Is this right? Czechoslovakia, lane 3. Russia, lane 2.
Yeah, it's going 3 and 4. Tom, why don't you watch this? This is what dragon boating is all about. This is what makes it exciting. This is heart right now. Who has it in the tank to go that extra bit? It's almost a photo finish between 3 and 4.
Wow, that was so close.
Yeah, between the Czech Republic and Hungary.
So this is where they really got to scrutinize the replay on that.
Right. This is where we have lasers now. Now we do. I mean, a number of years ago we didn't. Olympic level. So there cannot be any refuting the results. Like the 100-meter dash, we have it down to micro. We can break it down to a microsecond of the winner. The laser goes across the lake to another point. And so we can break it down frame by frame to make sure we have the correct.
Sure, I would like to know who was determined the winner of that. Yeah. Of course, we go to clockcaster.com, CLOCKCASTER.com. You can go there and follow along with the unofficial results, but pretty accurate. That was really close. I'd like to hear. Maybe we can find out definitely who was considered the winner of that.
And again, the results will be posted.
Second heat.
So
we have about five more races to go until we close the program out for today, and I want all the audience to know that we have a couple of heats, and then we have a semifinal, and then at 4:20 we have a final. Finals are always exciting because they go through the heats and the semifinals, and then the number of boats left will make it to the final, and that's where it all is. That's what you've trained for all these years to make it to that final. And if you come first, second, third, fourth, or fifth, you've achieved a great deal.
Yeah, just being here is quite an honor. And then we have the medal ceremonies around just before 5 o'clock today. So something really kind of fun happened. So we had a break for about 20 minutes or so recently. And I went down to a food truck, and I'm sitting there ordering a burger, and a guy comes up to me, and he orders, and he goes, hey, he heard my voice. He goes, hey, you're doing the online commentary. And I said, yeah, Taco and I are doing the online. He goes, my name's Jeff, and I was just on a plane watching you guys flying in from Dallas. So he was on a plane, had been watching our coverage on the airline because his girlfriend, Christy, is on Team USA.
Wow,
so I thought,
exciting.
man,
Exciting.
let me buy you a burger. But I said, sorry, I can't, I'm out of cash. But I really appreciate the thought, and thanks for watching.
It's an exciting day, and the conditions still, we're getting a little bit of wind out there, not too much.
Feels good.
We're still in ideal conditions for dragon boating. If you're just signed up, why don't you talk about our key sponsor?
Yeah, it was Springer Mountain Farms, who has really been the underwriting sponsor for this, one of our 3 major sponsors.
For the whole event.
Yeah, Springer Mountain Farms, really, with family-owned and operated, 40 years in the business, humanely raised chickens, and without the use of antibiotics, on a vegetarian diet. And so, family run, and they supply so many of the great restaurants here in Atlanta and in surrounding areas with their delicious chicken, all natural. And we love them, and we also love Ivestor Foundation. Ivestor Foundation is a local charitable foundation, grant-making, volunteerism, and philanthropy. And never let your memories be greater than your dreams. And thank you to the Ivester Foundation. And also champion perfection and excellence, what they strive for, and they deliver that with these amazing dragon boats right out of China.
Right, and going back to the Springer Mountain Farms, we are now every I'd say 5 or 10 years we go to a different chapter in the world, where now we are more concerned about health, what we put into our bodies more than anything else, and so for chickens not to have antibiotics or to put chemicals in there, these are free-range chickens that are not in a cage. They are happy, which are bred, and then we eat them. But they are a very good quality, and then I think for the health-conscious public, I think you should consider them among other the products that are full of injected chemicals.
Well, you know, any animal that's treated humanely and raised with love, it is a difference, and how it tastes. So anyway, the first ever to be certified by the American Humane Association. So we applaud Springer Mountain Farms and thank them for really supplying so much of the needed funding for this to bring the World Championships, the first time in America, to our viewers around the world. Watching us on Slido.com, SLIDO.com, or maybe you're watching on the Springer Mountain Farms website, which is SpringerMTN.com. You can also access their Roku channel through a link there, and you can also find them on their Facebook page too, as well. All the links can be found on the Springer Mountain Farms website, SpringerMTN.com.
Also, if you want to see the teams, the countries participating at what time, go to Clock, C-L-O-C-K, Claster, C-L-A-S-T-R.com. You can follow it online. We have it right here. So what you are looking at, we are looking at the
You
same
know, it's
thing.
funny because it's actually clockcaster.com.
Yeah.
So no L in there. Clockcaster,
Yeah.
timing.
Sorry.
For the rest of it, yeah, well, that's all right because we had just got some misinformation until we were just handed an actual screen. We can see it. This is great. We can see all the teams, the countries they represent, and whether it's a 20-man, if it's a junior, senior, mixed, for each race. So that's good. Clockcaster.
Yeah, and we have 5 more races coming up. The next one is a heat. It has the Philippines, Germany, and Canada in it. This is a 20-seater senior event, which will start. I don't see them down the starting line just yet. So this will go off approximately around 2:40, 2:45. I don't. The boats I think are just going out there right now.
Cool. I'm checking out our comments on Slido.com. Excuse me, SLIDO.com.
If you have questions, Slido.com. Tom is opening the link right now to see your questions and see if we can answer some of them.
Oh, this one says, let's see, from Lisa and Dieter. This says, we're watching from the German Autobahn on our way to Italy. This is crazy. We're watching on the Autobahn on our way to Italy. Our mother and wife are participating in the 50-plus category. Good luck. Dragon Boat World 2018. I love it. That is fantastic. Thank you, Lisa. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Dieter?
Dieter. Yeah.
Lisa and Dieter. That's great. On the Autobahn. I love your life.
I hope you're not driving at 240 kilometers an hour.
That's right.
I spend a lot of time in Europe, and I drive very, very fast. So hopefully you're not driving. Your German teams are doing very well. That they should like the conditions here. It's warm, but it's not extremely warm. And so I think the conditions to suit the German team as well as anybody else would be great.
Well, it's so funny, Taco, you mentioned the conditions here because Donna says the waters look calm in the lake. Do they foresee any interruption because of Hurricane Florence? And we've been talking that a little bit.
Yes, we have. we are, even though we are online, not us, but the director of the event is keeping a close eye on the situation. It's a fluid situation. We will update you if there's any changes. Right now, there are no changes to be made, but we don't want anything to happen to the athletes or the volunteers or anybody here. So safety is of paramount importance. So make sure that we will not race if there's any chance of a safety issue for anybody at the Dragon Boat Festival. I want to make sure all the audience knows that. That we are very well aware of the situation. We have forecasters that we are in touch with like every few minutes with updates. And but for right now, it's status quo. We're here till Sunday unless things change.
3 minutes until the start of race 26. This is heat 2, 500 meters.
Yeah, currently it's about 87 degrees here in Gainesville, Georgia, just about 50 miles north of Atlanta, Georgia. And if we are of course watching Hurricane Florence, like we said. Really, it's changing by the hour. And right now, Saturday, tomorrow and Saturday, right now, as it looks to be partly sunny with only a 20% chance of a rain shower, but that could change. And every day is different. This is being updated all the time. And like Taco says, we're in touch with meteorologists who are working with the ICF to determine what is best as conditions worsen for the safety of our athletes and our spectators.
Right, and we have some of the best weather forecasters I know living here for over 10 years in America.
With the Weather Channel.
With the Weather Channel. And so we are keeping an eye on it. Florence is a very unusual hurricane. It's kind of stopped and wondering what to do, to go west or north or whatever. It's not being pulled by any jet stream right now.
Right.
But it is what it is, and we have to just go with that's the story.
But a huge rainmaker.
And we are getting ready. The next race is getting ready right now. It's race 26.
Oh, we have a great interview with Stacy Dixon.
We're going to cut
She's
across,
a Lake Lanier official.
We're going to cut now to Stacy Dixon for an interview.
Take a look at this.
They're getting in place now. Stacy, are you there?
All right, guys, I am here with Stacy Dixon, and she is the president of Lake Lanier Convention and Visitors Bureau right here. And we're here at Lake Lanier. Maybe for some of our people out there that aren't familiar with Lake Lanier, let's get them educated.
Well, a lot of people are familiar because we are the most visited Corps of Engineers lake in the United States. Over 8 million visitors a year, and now all these global visitors coming for the World Championship. So it's a pretty busy place.
It is so much fun to be out here. And what does it mean for you guys to be able to host this Dragon Boat World Championship?
I mean, we're super honored because this event has never been to the United States. It's never been to this continent or really this side of the world before. It's always been in Asia and Europe. So coming to America is super exciting, especially for our Team USA teammates who we've had the largest fielded team for Team USA ever because they could get here. So that's wonderful. But our beautiful facility here at Lake Lanier Olympic Park was built for this. I mean, having an event like a World Championship for the International Canoe Federation is the legacy of having an Olympic venue. I mean, this is what it was born for.
Yes, and right behind us we have
Stacy
Olympic
Dixon,
Tower,
right?
and let's talk about some of the specialty things that really are here because the Olympics were hosted here.
Sure. Well, I mean, our Olympic timing tower is state of the art. I mean, and really the jewel of this facility is the water. We have the most pristine, beautiful racing flat water in the world, and athletes from all over the world will tell you that. Where do you want to race? Here. Because we have a natural setting, there's a tree line to block the wind. It's just like the perfect storm for racing. But our Olympic Tower has all the state-of-the-art finish links timing and the hundredths of a second, and they can do photo finishes. And then, but I will want to point out to you for folks to look at the artwork that's on the side of the tower on the front.
It's beautiful. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's done by through the Georgia Council for the Arts and our local arts council. They brought in an artist by the name of Jazz, who's Argentinian, and he paints murals all over the world and does canvas work. And one of his canvases, it's like 18 by 18 inches would sell for like $6,000. And he did that for us for free, thanks to the Georgia Council for the Arts. So it features a rower on top and a kayaker on the bottom.
Wow, that is absolutely very special and super Instagrammable. So everybody who's out here, make sure you go and get your your selfie. That's where you get it. Well, Stacey, thank you so much for being here with me today. And I know we've got a race that's getting started. So Taco, Tom, we're taking it back to you.
I love it. Greer, that was a great interview with Stacey Dixon. Give us a little insight on the heritage here of the park. And millions of dollars are generated for the Gainesville area, $5 to $6 million a year by having this venue here with so many people coming here to watch events just like what we're seeing right now.
Right, we have a race now, Philippines, Germany, and Canada. Philippines is lane 3, 4 is Canada, 4 is Germany, 5 is Canada. So right now, 3 of the Philippines is way ahead.
Wow, Philippines making a big showing right now.
This is a surprise. I would say a surprise. Germany second, and Canada third. This is the senior mixed.
And way out in front there.
Way ahead. So we have a couple more. We have 4 more races to go. The next race is Italy, U.S., Canada. 2 from Canada, 2 to the U.S. And then we're going to get into a semifinal and a final for the last 3 races, which will be very exciting.
What time is that race where we have 2 from Canada, 2 from U.S.?
I think at 3 o'clock.
Okay, great. 1,500 hours. All right, excellent.
The boats are just getting into place right now, and it looks like they might even start a little bit earlier. We'll keep an eye on it. One thing about what's the director's name? Dixon, Sally Dixon.
Stacey Dixon.
Stacey Dixon. I think one thing she said was that we're putting together our biggest team in America. And second is that from a financial standpoint, they can all get here.
Yes.
She's mentioned that, they don't have to fly to Russia or Poland or Yugoslavia.
Right.
So I think that benefits us and America and the participation of our athletes a lot more. We have a lot more opportunities to come here.
Yeah, and plus we have one of the greatest airports,
Yes.
one of the greatest airports in the world, which
Yes.
can centrally look. That's why the Olympics came here in 1996, for
Right.
our infrastructure and the ability to have events like this. And this is one of the few remaining Olympic venues left after the 1996 Summer Olympic Games here in Georgia. And we're so glad, as Stacey pointed out, that this venue is still here, and the tower, was kind of resurfaced and refinished and updated somewhat since the 96 games. And improvements are continually made here for this venue. And so that's why we're able to host this event here to represent the world, the first time ever in America, the World Dragon Boat Racing Championship here.
Yeah, one thing, when you look at Olympic venues around the world, even the Olympic venue in Brazil for rowing and canoeing, first it was very polluted down in Brazil.
Yes, it was.
I have to say good things about Brazil. I'm born in Brazil, born in Rio, but still, it's still, what I'm trying to go at with this is that after the Olympics shuts down, the facilities for housing and whatever usually, or for running events, usually turns into a ghost field. This facility right here is still, I would say, state of the art. I mean, we have a tower here. You have seen our director push us to the tower several times. For dragon boating, this is ideal. I mean, if I had to make something from scratch, I would do this. I would make it just like this. We have just across from us, across the street, about just 500 yards in front of me, we have another part of the lake which you can practice. You can practice here also. Anywhere in the lake, we have, what you said, 38,000?
38,000 plus acres.
38,000 acres. So to host a venue here at a facility, people say it's old. It's not. It is really, you really can't ask for anything better. And it's enclosed. It's not in the ocean. For many years, I did racing out of Hong Kong and Tokyo in the ocean. From a steerman and paddler standpoint, this is like nirvana.
Well, back in 1956, Taco, I know you know this because you're a trivia man. 1956, we created we had the completion of the Buford Dam off the Chattahoochee River, and that's what formed these 38,000 acres of lake. And actually, you know, many different towns here were evacuated to create the lake, and so actually there's some old cars and things and
I've heard.
towns that are still down in different parts of the lake.
Right, right.
And the lake, at one point, when we had a drought situation many years ago, the lake was at the lowest level ever. And
I was here at that time. One thing compared to lakes here, compared to where I live in Florida now, is there's no gators.
yes,
Here it's still gator free, and you know, it's an exciting time. But for anyway, change the subject a little bit to Our Lady in Germany on the Autobahn. You know, it's exciting. I know that your team will be in a number of semifinals and finals.
yeah, I love that we can communicate with people watching around the world. You know, I met Jeff here watching on a plane coming in from Houston, and then you have one of our viewers who I just read on the air recently. I think it was Lisa, who was watching on the Autobahn. Let me scroll down and see her comment here. Yeah, Lisa and Dieter watching on the German Autobahn on the way to Italy. That sounds so. I know. Listen, sitting next to you, Taco, who I didn't meet you until last night. You have had an amazing life so far, living in all different parts of the world. So you're well traveled, and you're going to be my new travel agent. I don't know if you know that right now. Because when I want to go to Italy. You know, I want to go drink the wine over there. I want to tour around. I want to go overseas.
And
to
you
Europe.
will get there. Sooner the better.
Yes,
Sooner the better.
that's right, man.
So we have 4 more races to go. Race 27 is
Right here?
I see the boats. They are getting in place in a few minutes. They're not being brought to the start line as you know. So just in about 5 minutes, I see them there. They're just turning around. We have 5 boats here, and then for the last 3, I'm going to get the schedule in a minute from our director. It still hasn't been posted yet.
Not here on
It's right here.
Clockcaster, Clock,
Right here.
CASTER, clockcaster.com is where you can find the race information here.
Right.
And you can see it just as we can see it right here, and they update it as they get more information. A 2,000-year-old sport has grown into this. You know, every 2 years they have the World Championship Dragon Boat races, and of course in 2016 in Moscow, and here in America for the very first time. And excited that it's here. And not a lot of people know anything about the Dragon Boat races, myself included, until I started researching this when I found out I was going to be here to be able to cover the games with you, Taco. And it's great to get your perspective, having done it and lived it firsthand as a steersman, and then, you know, you were a paddler as well.
Paddler as well. Yeah.
Started liking the sport when you were, what, 8 years old?
About 8 years old, many years ago.
Yeah, and look where we are now.
And it's a story, but I look at also the gentleman which we just interviewed from Team America.
Right, Eric.
And he, here we go, as a young man, he was working for a bank, and he decided to do like a team event, and he brought some colleagues from the team event, and then he went to a few other events, and then he went to more events, and then he went to nationals, and then all of a sudden now he's one of the best in the world.
How about that?
And so I go back to what I mentioned about team building. This is, as I said, you can start at a very level. You don't know. A lot of people don't know what a dragon boat is or anything about the sport, but it is fun. You like the water. You like the outdoors. You like the team bonding. You get to know your fellow colleague at work or who you work with, and it can add a lot to your life.
Yeah, dragon boats are designed to resemble the classic dragon that had the head of an ox, an antler or a deer, mane of a horse, body of a python, claws of a hawk, and the fins and tail of a fish. So that's kind of gives you an idea of what the design is. Modern dragon boat is generally recognized as having the origins in the Hong Kong international races held back in 1976. So you lived in Hong Kong for a long time, you said.
Yes, I did. And went to many of the races and participated in many of them in the ocean in various parts of Hong Kong, not just one area. But I'm glad to see the sport come from Asia, and now, last year, 2 years ago, Russia, and then America, and then we're going to be in Bhopal in India.
Yeah.
So you can see it's a truly international sport.
Yes.
It's not, yes, it evolved in Asia, but you can't really say that the Chinese, take all the medals. Actually, I'm quite surprised not to see China here on the list.
Right, I did not see them here.
I'm almost shocked.
And we look around here, I can see the participating countries represented. And you have Ukraine, Switzerland, Russia, Philippines, Czech Republic, France, Germany, Hungary, India. Is India here?
Yes.
And Italy. And then you have, of course, Armenia, Canada, Team USA.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where China is. I wonder where, what happened to China.
Mm-hmm. Puerto Rico is not here as well.
Right.
For those of
We
you
have
tuning in.
approximately 13 countries here. And so you can see that not one country dominates everything. Depending on the category you're in, it's quite mixed across the way from country to country.
Yeah, we've seen really finishers in from almost every country.
Yeah, you can't say that one country is just eating everybody up. And that makes it a global event where everybody can participate, and not one country has an advantage over anybody else.
Well, and we talk about that. We also talk about 2 years ago in 2016 when the World Championships were held in Moscow, Russia, and then the Russians took 36 of the 40-something events.
Yeah.
But we talked about that is because a lot of their athletes are supported by the government, and that's their whole life is training and becoming even greater in that sport. But seeing them here today, you're right, they have not been dominating the sport here.
No. And as I said, the U.S. started, and is still going quite strong. Now they're slipping a little bit towards the afternoon, but we've had a lot of first places, second and third places. So, it's a good, we're doing overall, I think, quite well.
Yeah, we should be so proud. And look at this beautiful day. This is like a Gainesville Chamber of Commerce day to host the World Championships of Dragon Boat Racing up here in Gainesville, Georgia. Just about an hour north of downtown Atlanta, to give you an idea of where we're located, at the Olympic Park venue, which was used in the 1996 Summer Olympic Games here in Atlanta.
Have you got the address in there?
Yeah, and the address here, in case you want to find out exactly where we are, you can go, you can just search it online, or I'll give you the address. It's 3105 Clarks Bridge Road in Gainesville, and just search the Olympic venue, Lake Lanier, Olympic venue, Olympic Park, and you can find out how to navigate here. But we want you to come up. We're going to be wrapping things down today about 5 o'clock, 5:30, but we have events starting tomorrow at 8 a.m. until 5, and then again on Saturday and throughout Sunday until we complete this World Championship.
Right. So today we have 4 more races to go, and then we will. So we're going to head over now to an interview with Greer, with the head coach of Team USA.
Oh, fantastic. This will be your buddy.
All right, guys, I am here with a very special crew. I am here with Kathy Blendetto, who is the wife of Team USA head coach Mike Blendetto. So first of all, Kathy, tell me who all you have here with you today.
Okay, well, right next to me I have my mother, so my husband's mother-in-law, my husband's mom, Sandy, Ellen, and one of our kids, Bella.
Well, I love that you guys are all here hanging out today, and I know that your husband's actually getting ready to race here. So, you've been in the grind with him, watching him train and coach all of these teams. So what has that been like for you as a wife, seeing him work so hard for a day like today?
The training is really, really intense, and it's hard for the U.S. because they're all over the country, but what they do is they all train and they all video each other, and they train through the internet, and they train really, really hard, but it's hard because they're all across the United States, but they love it, and they've been doing it. My husband's been doing it for 30-something years, and I have 3 kids on it, and my other daughter, Ashley, she's at home. She just had a baby, but she'll be ready in 2 years for the next one, but she is such a good athlete as well.
Hey, Ashley, we're glad that you're out there watching today, and I love that. And like you said, your husband's been doing this for 36 years, so
she
that
is
means
the
you've been
wife
doing it for
of
quite
the
some
head
time as
coach
well.
for Team
So
USA.
I know you're really proud of him.
Coach
What
Mike.
about your husband are you just the most proud of? When he's kind of fighting through to continue to be such an advocate for the sport and such a leader.
Yes, he truly loves this sport, and it is such a great camaraderie. He has a great camaraderie, I think, with all the other coaches. He loves to see them every couple years. So I think he gets along with everybody. He really just loves the competition and the people. He really does. Yeah.
And I think you must be a professional spectator at this point because you've seen a lot of races. So what is your favorite part of watching dragon boat racing?
Well, it's not the heat, but we do it because we love this sport. We love dragon boating, and we love our family. So we just love. We take pictures and video, and just enjoy meeting everybody from around
Do
the
we
world.
know her name?
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for being here with me, and we're going to cheer on your husband and Team USA as they get ready for the next race.
That's great. Greer, we love it. Up close and personal with the head coach, Coach Mike of Team USA. We love that to see his wife and friends and family gathered there to watch everything he's been working for so long to this very moment.
Very proud.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be there. Now we have an exciting, it's not a final. So we have Italy, we have 2 teams from the U.S. and 2 teams from Canada in the next race, which will start like any second now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this race.
If we get a camera by the start, would be good to see the exact start.
There we go, right there.
Here we go. Good.
Plus Masters mixed is underway.
It's mixed.
Lane 2, USA 50 plus. Lane 3, Canada 50 plus. Lane 4, Canada 40 plus. And USA 40 plus is in fifth line.
So we have 2 and 5.
2 and 5 against 3 and 4. Canada and Italy is in there too. So this is an exciting race. The master, it's a mixed race, so that means there are men and women in the boat. Usually it's split 50-50. Okay, it's not like 19 men and 1 woman. That's illegal. Usually it's half and half at this level. It's a master class. Again, top in the world, 40 years older. It's not an open division. Open is like, no matter how old you are, you are the best. So this is a certain age group.
Yeah, but it's great to see, regardless of your age, everyone working together as a team, just like we've talked about, training for this very moment. And of course, Team USA is in boat 2 and boat 5.
Boat 2 and 5.
And we have two boats from Canada as well.
They're just coming by the middle, the halfway mark right now. And we'll see how they do. One, 2, 4, and 5. 3 has dropped back a little bit. 3 has dropped back. So 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Looks like 1 is doing.
Yeah.
1 is going to take it.
1 from Italy is taking the lead, a very big lead. And 4 and 5 are fighting it out for 3rd place. Oh my gosh, it's very tight from between 4 and 5. I think 4 has got it.
So USA could come in second here.
USA, Italy first, second, and then 3rd would be Canada. So we've got a medal.
We did come in second on that one, didn't we?
We came second.
Team USA.
We came second.
Looking from our vantage point here on our monitor.
So now we have a final coming up. As far as what I've been told by the race director, we have 2 boats only. I don't ask questions why. So that's at 3:30 between Canada and the U.S. So what we will do now is take a little bit of a break, and we'll see you back in a few minutes.
Yeah. Stay with us.
Stay with us. Okay. 3:30. Wow.
Hey, Matt. Matt, are we going to play any of those produced packages?
Yeah, I think we're trying to make this on tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it seems like that would be a great thing to fill some time with.
So did you guys send teams to India and Bangladesh to interview people? Like they do in the Olympics, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Budgets.
We need one more big sponsor.
Yeah, budgets.
All we need to do is shoot like an AT&T sponsor. And
Yeah.
They'll do this. They'll run the network.
That'd be a great tie-in. AT&T, your world delivered. You know.
Let me tell you something. AT&T. I mean, I worked with them many years. They pour a lot of money into the Atlanta one. I mean, you know, the guy was here yesterday. I saw him. His name was Kevin Booth, and they poured in easily over 100,000. And they've had their own tent and everything else. So AT&T is a very big on the Dragon Boat. I don't know about on this level, but on the local level, they're a very big support. I coached their teams for years. Could you get me back to the screen? Oh, here we go. Here.
What time do you guys start breaking down?
As soon as the mouse runs are over, but you'll leave for like around 4:30 or so.
Is it,
I think once we switch over to medal ceremony.
where was the medal ceremony?
Yeah, I don't know. They just forgot it. I guess they did all this work.
Yeah. So maybe they'll have it on after this last race.
Well, we have two boats, and then we have this one's not assigned yet to the lanes.
Because that was, I see there's the metal platform down there, and I didn't see any type of ceremony.
I wonder if they're going to, if they shut us down Sunday or Saturday, if they're going to.
Right now, I don't see it, Taco. I don't know, but I don't.
No, but that can be. That talk to me one-on-one.
I know, but from where is he getting this information? Because no one's reporting that.
Director.
No, but
And that, he said something. It doesn't look good.
but I
He
don't.
told me that verbally.
I know,
face
but
to
where's
face.
this guy getting his information? Because I don't see anything on any of this.
Catering.
But I don't see any of the sites yet. I mean, they said even if it turned towards us, it wouldn't arrive till
Don't
Sunday
shoot the
night.
messenger. That's
I
what
know.
Marcus said.
But you know what I'm saying. You know, I'm
Yeah,
just trying to
let me
understand
Let
it.
me call Jim Cantora. You can talk to him.
Oh, well, I know he's somewhere because whenever you see his face, no one likes it because he's like, oh no, Jim's here.
I don't think it's gonna fall.
Matt, are they gonna? You think, Matt? Are they gonna squeeze in more races? Just for the sake of.
I picked the wrong way
all
to
the-
quit
all
taking
the teams
prescription
coming
drugs.
from all around the world.
I almost wonder if they will.
Did you ever see Airplane?
And then, like, if I were them, I would.
Picked the wrong way to
just
quit
cut out the
sniffing
medal
glue.
ceremony and just add more races.
Yeah.
Just in case, you know.
But no, we've done that before. Over here when we have inclement weather, not hurricanes, but when we know a downpour's coming,
Yeah.
we said screw the ceremony and screw the dotting of the dragon, and we've just gone boom, 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 boom. Especially with countries coming in from all over the world, you know what I mean? You know, this is not like
I don't see any weather online anywhere from any side talking about anything, even at this point, about anything.
it's hacked by the Russians.
It's all fake news. Fake news.
Yeah.
Hashtag fake news.
I mean, actually, this live stream's up.
We're just.
Every time we cut, like, you guys have been watching, but we switch to a different race. It's all,
Yeah,
it's all
yeah. You're in an alternate world.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have any water close by, please? Oh, thanks so much.
Sure, I got 4 bottles over here, but they're all half full. I just
Yeah.
Part of them.
Thanks, Matt. I just popped some oxycodone. I just want to get it down.
Why?
Just kidding. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I take that stuff when I'm in pain. I mean, I ran a race 3 months ago. Actually, more than that, back in March, and it was for my client, and I was running a race up in Florida, in Claremont, in Orlando, and I broke a bone of mine because I was doing a stunt that I used to do water skiing at 14. So I tried to do it at 62. So I did it. It was great.
Yeah.
But it didn't land the way I did it at 16.
Yeah.
So it looked great on video, you know. I mean, and so I broke a little bone in my leg, and so I could not let my client down, and I'm the key steerman for the event. So I took some pills. I forget the name of it, but they don't affect your brain.
Right.
Insurance doesn't pay for them. You don't have the best insurance in the
But it's not an opioid, is it?
Yeah, so it's like $350 a pill. And it doesn't affect, because I had to have a clear mind to stay
Yeah,
involved.
yeah.
So I was in.
What was it?
I don't know. I took 4 of them over the course of the night before in the morning. Otherwise, I couldn't stand up.
Man.
But it didn't affect my brain. It's a new type of pill that doesn't affect the brain, but it doesn't make you sleepy. It just takes the pain away.
Oh no, what? I'm curious what that is.
Yeah. So I took several of those. Of course, when I went off it, I was in agony, but I had to stand in the boat and monitor, do the race, and put the race course up. And I had to walk. And I told my client, I said, "Don't worry about me, I'm okay." But I paid for them myself out of my own pocket.
How did you get you must have gotten the pills before. Yeah, you obviously, because you hurt yourself, and then you had to go to the event, so you got the pills.
No, I went to my doctor.
Yeah.
And he knows my character. I'm not fucking dumb.
Yes.
And I told him, he said, "Tucker, look, I'll get these for you, but you have to pay for them because even your insurance, no matter what insurance, even your Donald Trump, I don't mean that Donald Trump, I said, even if you have the Donald Trump insurance, it doesn't pay for it. This is a very specialized drug. It's like $350 a pill. You know, it's like the EpiPen, $6,000 a shot.
Yeah.
That bastard. Anyway.
I know.
So I did. I took it. There's all those other ones, oxy, fentanyl. They affect your brain. You get so sleepy.
Troy was wearing fentanyl patch, 10 milligrams, taking oxycodone,
He
and
must have been in the OSA.
so he had to go in the hospital for 4 days. Yes, but you know what? Oxycodone, hydrocodone. I mean, we've got like a whole bag of pills.
Vicodin, morphine.
Yes, he was taking liquid morphine.
Yeah, we call that synthetic Vicodin. Yeah.
Hey Greer, you did a great job on that. You're doing really great. Yeah.
You're very peppy. I like that. You know.
You should work for the Braves.
No. I mean that. I always say the wrong things. My wife says I'm politically. But you're very. The camera loves you. You know, and
That's
so,
right.
You know, and I don't mean. I mean that some people. I mean the camera loves. I mean some people can be on. The camera loves you, like Robert De Niro. I mean the camera just loves you. Like
Really?
Tom. Like
What's
Tom
the camera's
Hanks.
name?
Tom Hanks. You know, I mean, so you're a natural. You know what I mean? I mean, you make our audience feel excited because you're excited.
Yes,
you know, like, oh, hello, are you the director? Oh, okay. What time is it? You know, I mean, you get them pumped up. So here's my mother and here whatever. Yeah. It's not like, oh, you know, hi. Are you? Do you like your son being here? You know, oh yeah, tell me. Okay, are we ready to cut? You know what I mean? So it brings and I think that's important for TV because America is all in your face. It's all we talked about, all drama.
Yeah.
You know, everything's boom, boom, boom. You know.
I always feel like my goal is to be like the connection. You know, like to feel like I want the person I'm with to feel super comfortable.
Yes.
Like we're just hanging out.
And
Yes.
You do that.
And then you want the person watching to go, oh, I think I know this person better because they're like comfortable. You know, and so then they get to know.
And you do that.
That's always my goal.
You do that. I mean, as I'm always on that side of the camera, and I'd love to have you, work, because you're natural. You're and I mean that sincerely. I mean,
Thank you. I appreciate that. I will take that.
That you bring, as I said, and you put the people that you interview at ease, and that's so important. If you go there, okay, I'm going to interview you. What's your name again? Joe Blow. Okay, hello, Joe. And they're going, oh my God, he's gonna shoot me.
I've got to get to the mall.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like so big.
Because you make them feel, the mother of the director, and she's proud and she's booming, and oh my God, my son this is his event, and oh my God, I need a margarita.
Yeah, she was the wife, right, of Coach Mike. Who were the other people there with her?
Her mother,
Okay.
the mother-in-law,
Bella,
his mother,
Bella, I remember.
and then one of their daughters. And then one of the daughters just had a baby and she was watching. So we talked. We were like, hey,
Bella,
like to
that's the name of my dog, Bella.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know
And
if
he
you.
was getting ready to race in the.
Oh, okay.
In the race that was going.
We were reading the Slido comments, and these two people were watching us on the Autobahn in Germany, headed to Italy. And one guy I met over here getting a burger. He just flew in, was watching us on the plane.
Yeah.
Because his girlfriend is on Team USA. Yeah, I thought.
He wanted your phone number. He said,
Yeah, he
text
did.
It, please.
But look at you. You already
But he had a girlfriend.
you
so.
scored free burgers too. I mean, right down
I know,
there.
you didn't get to give us.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. What is that big? Is that a giant taco over there? Oh, those are tacos.
Tacos.
Yeah. Tacos. Hey, Taco, you want
I've
taco?
heard it all. Don't worry. I've heard
Okay.
it all. I've heard it all.
Sure. Now, is Taco your legal name, or is it a nickname that became your name? Is that a fair question?
You know, I should have this on tape. You know what I mean? I said that.
We're not recording. We'll audio.
I know.
They're on. Okay.
Are we on? Are we on? No, we're not.
We're not on, are we?
I sound American and actually Dutch.
Okay.
I carry a number of passports. I carry a Brazilian passport because I was born in Brazil.
Okay.
My father's Dutch. I became a Dutchman because of him.
Okay.
I immigrated to New Zealand. I have a New Zealand passport. And sometimes if I'm traveling in a safe place in the world, I will use my U.S. passport. My mother was German, became American, and then I wanted to get a German passport too, but I couldn't. Anyway, so saying that, Taco is basically a Dutch Indonesian name. My dad was born in Java, Indonesia. His name was Taco. Taco. So,
Taco.
yeah, so, and to add more to what I told you before, I'm also Brazilian. I'm born in Brazil. My name in Brazil is Taquinho. Taquinho.
Taquinho.
Taquinho. Okay, my birth certificate name. In Holland, 1 in 5,000 men, one in 5,000 men are called Taco. Taco, the word taco means 40 different things in 40 different languages. And I tested him on this before, but he was in the radio for many years, so he knew the answer. You're young. Have you heard of the song "Putting on the Ritz"?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the name of the band?
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
I don't think I know.
Taco.
Oh, really?
The one-hit wonder of the Dutch band, a Dutch band. In Portuguese, it means socks. It means a cleaning product. It means a lamppost. It means an old car. Do you like sushi?
Yeah.
What does taco mean in Japanese? So when you go to a Japanese restaurant and you say, "I would like taco," what are they going to bring out to you?
I don't know.
Not very good.
Oh,
Octopus.
yeah, I've never ordered
Octopus.
Octopus. It also means, depending how you use it phonetically in Japanese, a kite.
What's your least of all the 40 different translations? Which one is your least favorite of all? Besides the one here in America.
I really don't. I mean, in America, you think it's Mexican, so I go in America by Mr. Proper or T Proper. Even my email address is T Proper. Until people get to know me. Because in business, people think it's a joke. So when I call somebody to make a business arrangement or travel, they say, "Oh, did Jimmy put you up to this?" You know what I mean? Oh yeah, taco, yeah.
But tell her that you almost had the last name Bell.
No. How long did you live in Brazil?
5 years. I've gone there I've gone back about 8 times for Carnival.
Can you speak Portuguese?
Fala Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Ah, eu falo pouco.
I know one.
So-
Obrigado.
So if you really
Obrigado.
want, I mean, I'm a traveler. So if you really want to go to a party, I mean, people will talk to you about July 4th in D.C., Ibiza in Spain, Oktoberfest. They will talk to you about many parties around the world. Whatever you are, if you're I'm gonna watch myself. If you're hetero or gay or transgender or whatever you're at, Brazil Carnival is the place to go. For 7 nights and 7 days, whatever you are, it's the magic place in the world. So you have the bossa nova, you have that intoxicating bossa nova music. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you go there for a week and you need about 3 weeks to recover. and you go there and you dance and dance and dance, drink and drink and drink, have a lot of sex, and you do it again, day.
Look at the time.
And then you leave. But that's what it is. It's just intoxicating. Everything goes. People have sex in the street. Right here. You're in a restaurant. They're having sex.
Oh my goodness.
That's actually really funny you say that, because I went to Madrid recently, and it was when World Cup was going on. It was a big soccer match.
Yeah.
Between Madrid Real
Yeah.
and somebody else, and they won. And
Yeah.
it was in Madrid, and that city is super clean too. Like I've been to a bunch of different places in Europe, and that was one of the cleanest cities I've been to. And within one night, they all party. Like everybody goes out in the streets and parties when they win, and just drink and like the same thing. Like people were having sex.
Well,
in the
Carnival
streets, and I
is
was like, what? Like I was with my boyfriend at the time, and I was like, they were just doing it, like right there.
Yeah.
Like, you want to go? Like, it was just
Well, you have to understand,
Wow.
you're a Europe is so far ahead. I mean, America is so prude. You're so abreast, and you go nuts. Because everybody's nude there in the beaches and everything else.
Yeah,
no one cares.
No.
No one cares. But Brazil, you have the costume, the carnival, where the women and men are almost naked. You know what I mean? But I mean, if you have a chance to do it, I mean, if you love bossa nova music and you like, it's really, I mean, if you really want to, it's really, it is what it is.
So it's so funny because when you told me last night you almost became Taco Bell. When I worked in radio, we played radio spots all the time. This was one of my favorite radio commercials, and it's a jingle. Listen. Taco Bell.
Oh,
She's going, Taco Bell, it's just made fun. I'm always singing that. One of my favorite jingles. And now I would have met a future taco. I met my first taco ever.
Hopefully by next year. So I lived in London for about 3 years.
Yeah, me too.
And I lived with a Brazilian family.
Oh, that's cool.
I have a place in South Kensington now. I own a condo in South
Yeah,
Kensington.
so I lived with them in East Finchley
Yeah.
for like 2 years, and then I moved closer to my school, and I lived in Shoreditch after that.
I carry London with me. I'll show you something. Let's see if you know this.
Okay.
I'll test you how good you
Okay.
are. I'll test her to see if she really knows London. I'll see what she says.
I'm
If she doesn't know the answer, I know she didn't live in London.
Okay. Oh yeah, Harrods on Oxford.
What is that? Oh, Harrods, dude. Yeah, Harrods.
People don't like that, don't
You know, everyone.
I'm not a shopper, but Harrods is a very special place. You
Okay.
gotta-
I've never,
it's
well, when
not-
I go out, we'll go see it.
It's not like going to the normal mall.
That's cool that they have this little heart.
Yeah, well, I'm a
for
heart
kidding.
guy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If I carry, whenever I get depressed, I hold Harrods on London.
That's good.
But anyways, the family that I lived with moved back to Brazil, and so I have to go visit them.
Where, in Rio?
The mom and their whole family lives in Brazil, but they're all spread out in Brazil. So they've got family in Rio, in Brasilia, in Sao Paulo.
Well, make sure you go to Rio.
Yeah, I will. I think I'm gonna fly into Sao Paulo because that's where like my best friend lives. So I'm gonna see him, and then his father is a travel agent, and so they're going to Argentina. And he was like, "Do you guys want to just come with us?" I was like, "Yes." So I think I'm gonna go with him with the travel agency. Just
Well, I am one of my businesses. I'm a traveler agent. Okay. So I mean, I'm not talking about your business, but if you have the opportunity, okay, if you're remotely interested, go to Iguazu Falls.
okay. Is that where is that?
That's about a 4 or 5 hour plane ride from Rio to Argentina. It's on the border.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of Iguazu Falls? Well, Google it. IGUACU Falls, Iguazu Falls. If you like that, if that's your thing, it's like the thing in Canada, America, like Niagara Falls
Yeah.
times 20.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls times 20. So when you see Iguazu Falls, if you like that type of nature, you will just, especially when you go down so far. If you're in the area, if you have an opportunity, just go there. You only need to be there a day and a half. That's it. That's it. You go there, stay 2 nights. That's it. Now, 1 night's too much because by the time you get there, you're shocked.
Have you ever been to, I've been 3 times to Búzios. It's south of Rio. And it's a little resort town. And
Yeah, it
my
is.
friends own a restaurant there called Shimmy Shoe.
Okay.
And they own a jazz cafe. And they own a radio station there. Yeah, I got to go there. And they go, just fly here and on your own expense, and we'll put you up for 7 days. And they had a house on the beach, and they had a boat. And I was like, wow, I don't want to leave. So I went for Halloween, so we had a huge Halloween festival at the outdoor creperie restaurant, and they were just like a little mini
You can
carnival.
live well down there. You can live well.
Yes, you can for very little money, but a lot of what's the word that goes on there?
Thanks.
Oh no, it's a bad thing. Not just crime, but the government. I don't know if. Yeah, corrupt. Thank you.
What? Corrupt? Huh? What?
A little corruption.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
Hello.
listening to you guys. I'm listening.
Yes.
They just posted the
What about that race that was really close, too close to call? We talked about the lasers.
I don't see any results on this at all. None. 0.
I'll let you know.
Canada, 5. Canada, 6. 420. Philippines, Czech, Germany. 350. USA, Italy, Canada, Canada.
Just give it a second. I'm rebooting the software.
3 o'clock, that's done. 3:30. Canada, USA. Yeah, and I mean it. So wherever you go, the two of you, um, give me a call.
No, oh, Taco. Taco, absolutely.
I want, as I said, I don't want to tell you what to, I will just give you advice and
Yeah,
comments.
yeah.
And then you'll say 20 things and say, oh my God, that sounds good. That's not, oh, the thing in Florence, which Taco mentioned, or the thing in Pisa, or Cinque Terre, or the Amalfi Coast, you know, or Positano, or Portofino. I know it intimately. I know it intimately.
Well, I trust you.
And my best friend is Italian. He's from Milan. He's my best friend. That's not it, but he's a billionaire. He invented the ingredients for diapers.
Oh, you're
So every
kidding.
diaper sold in the world, he makes 5 cents.
Really? Are you for real?
Yeah, he invented the ingredients for that. So he sells Procter & Gamble and Kimberly-Clark, Chinese companies.
Because he probably owns the patent to it.
So he has things. He showed me. He takes a little sheet up, hanky.
Yeah.
He said, Taco, I'm working with the U.S. military right now because they need it for their special. He said, I can't tell you because it's confidential, but he's my best friend. He said that they need something for like 75 pounds of gear to go to 30 feet down so they can be dropped off the coast of Bahrain and Syria. But they can't have a thick material like scuba divers because they have too much material. So he developed something this thin. So he gets this out. He said, Taco, watch this. And he gets a bottle of water and he pours it in here like this. Doesn't come out. This thin. Thin like this.
Wow.
He said, I saw it to him. I said, Max, his name was Maximiliano Castellani. I said, Max, I can
Coming up is
imagine how
race
much
number
money you make.
28.
He said, oh, Taco, I don't know how you say it in American, I need a wheelbarrow with the money to the bank, the euro.
This is a
They
semifinal.
put the money in the
Leader
wheelbarrow.
26
Where does he
senior
live?
mix.
Milano.
Wow. What's his house like?
Lane 3 will be
You would be
Canada.
shocked.
Lane
Humble.
4 is
Oh,
USA.
Smaller than yours.
Wow. I love that. I love when you can't
You
tell.
can't even, I live out of the Ninos.
Wow. That's interesting.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just shocking. It's shocking.
Yeah, there's a guy, friend across the street, his best friend sold a company for $26 million. You'd never know it.
You know, Matt, I think we're gonna go now. 3:30. Do you have a feed of the start line? I think we only have 2 boats in this. Can you see? Tom? Can you have a better view than me?
Yep, just 2.
Yeah. Canada against the USA. It's always good, Matt. I noticed you don't have a lot of feeds on the start. The start's very important in dragon boating. Very, very. Of course, the finish is the finish, but the starting to go from ground zero, it's like like a race, like a Formula One race car. When you start from Formula One, you go from 0 up. So the beginning of a race is very important because if somebody that misses that, they won't win the race. So 3 more races to go.
Make sure this is on. It's on. There's not any balls.
I think they're going to go any second now. I think they're lining up any second now.
Start on something close.
They've called it to order. I can see the teams right now. Ready? They're ready right now. Go. No, not yet. No.
Fantastic. I love it.
Here we go.
We have
Okay,
a
great.
start, race
Well-
28,
And it's underway. Welcome back to the ICF World Dragon Boat Championships. And this race, Taco, has just two teams, USA and Canada.
Right, Canada in lane 3, USA in line 4. So this is a semifinal, so this is a very important race to go forward to the next race, which will have at least 5 to 6 boats in it. So whoever wins this race will go on forward, okay? As you can see, all together, up and down, you see? Every person, if you look at it, every person looks the same.
Yeah, I'm looking. I see the steerman is. This is Team USA, right? We're looking at it right here,
Yeah.
in blue. So you're looking in. Is that Jim Odell in the back of the boat? I couldn't tell.
You have to see.
But look at this. We're almost neck and neck here.
At this level, it will be very unusual for a boat to be way ahead of anybody else. Usually the timing, they'll go right down to the wire.
But Team USA is making a strong push here. I really like that.
You see, they've gone to a different gear.
Yeah, I see that.
All of a sudden, the American team has gone to a different gear. Okay, they've gone from like third to fourth gear.
Now-
They're going way ahead.
So Taco, the drummer doesn't change pace regardless of the gear, right?
No. The jump absolutely changes pace
Okay.
with the front row.
Okay.
And the Jim Odell is in the back of that boat. Yes, he's one of the top ruddermen, and he's taking it, as I can tell. I can tell from his style, he's. I mean,
That's
wow.
great. 6-time world medalist in dragon boat racing.
Yeah. Wow. To win by.
Yeah, that is amazing.
To win by 4 heats.
That's
is
the
just-
largest, span that we've had in a
Yeah.
lead on any race. Is
Yeah.
this one?
So he keeps it very tight line, and he's also not only a top rudderman, he's a top coach.
Look at that. That was pretty. I mean, that was a definite.
Yeah.
Wow. They came from behind and took
Yeah.
that race
Right.
by a
It's,
huge margin.
It is. It's and they will be in the final.
Yeah, that's great. I love it.
So we have 2 more races to go. One is a heat, and the last one of the day, which will be at 4:20, will be a final. The next race has got, if everybody shows up, 5 boats in it.
All right.
It was just posted a few minutes ago.
Yeah, you've got a good up-to-date list there. Of course, we have the a lot of the list of the races on clockcaster.com. CLOCKCASTER.com. You can just enter Dragon Boat on your search, and you'll see all the scheduling just as we have it here. And of course, we're streaming to you live on Slido.com, SLIDO.com, or you can go to our sponsor, which is Springer Mountain Farms website. It's SpringerMTN.com. There you can find links to the other channels that Springer is broadcasting the race on, like their Roku channel, just to name a few. And of course, we want you to use the hashtag wherever you're watching us. We've had reports from an airplane, reports from the Autobahn in Germany. Let us know where you're watching. Use the hashtag DragonBoatWorld2018 on any social media.
Yeah, we get your comments right here in real time, and Tom can go through them. And they're exciting to read. All of you have your own horse that you're going for, is Italy or Germany or Australia. I mean, not Australia, but wherever country you're from.
Someone from Australia watching from a koala bear farm.
Right.
Unbelievable. Right here. Taco, I'm serious. A koala bear farm. She's holding a koala bear in her arms.
Wow. And Australia, I mean, it's interesting because I've raced against Australia many times. It's amazing they're not here. They usually put together a good team.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of teams like a lot of the Asian teams are missing. I find that very interesting, but I'm sure there's a reason for that. Because in the Chinese teams, they have, they have so many absolutely great teams.
What's your thinking as we look back to the 2016 World Championship when Russia took almost the entire over 36 something events, and yet here it's a different story.
I think it has to do a lot. I think when you look at the Olympics in general, if you have the Olympics in a certain country, like in Korea, America, wherever, in Seoul, Korea, usually the home country puts in a lot more athletes, and they do quite well.
Okay.
I think I call that home country advantage. Like the lady that Greer interviewed,
It was Stacy Dixon, I believe.
Stacy, the
Oh
mother.
no, was that Stacy, the mother of Coach Mike?
Yeah. And so, I mean, she said that, since it's America, a lot of opportunities for more Americans to be at this event.
True.
And then you can put more teams together because some teams, some countries can't afford to send a team and house them and feed
True.
them. When you add up all the costs of airplane and everything else, it's quite expensive.
I'm now with social media and these GoFundMe type sites. I'm sure some countries could actually turn to a GoFundMe page if
Yes.
they want you to help, raise money to get here. And we know the expense is great, but perhaps it'll be a different story in 2020 when the World Championships are in India, and then again in Ukraine 2 years later.
And then you see India doing quite well. Again, the cost to send a team to a country usually before the race starts so they can practice and get a feel of the land,
Yes.
get over jet lag. Funny thing, many times in the past when Dragon Boat started taking off, teams came from around the world. Now to go to, let's say you're in Hong Kong, to go from Hong Kong to this part, it takes 24 hours by plane. The time you leave your home, the time you get there, and then they race the next day. So they didn't do that anymore because they were wiped out.
Yeah.
And people didn't understand about jet lag. So many of these athletes, even if they're top in the world, have to acclimate to even the time change. So you have somebody coming from California to here. Even though it's 3 or 4 hours, they still have got to get a feel because their bio clock, all of that has to do with the race. You need a team of 10 or 20. All these things have played into various events in my lifetime. Where we brought in teams with 2 or 3 hour, and they haven't been all together. And I said, what's going on? Well, we just got in late last night, and we were not. It's only at 4 o'clock in the morning. And all that plays into that. So if you have a team, you want them here a week in advance so they can prepare properly so they're in an even stead with all the other teams.
When we talk about all the teams and performance, and like the ICF, the International Canoe Federation, which is overseeing this entire championship, and everyone here is a member of that organization. We talk about doping, and of course, doping, like any Olympic sport, is discouraged here. Maybe not try to back up or undermine or test on the level the Olympics are, but really, when you think about an event like this, Taco, that say if you were doping yourself, you've got 19 other people who, so I don't know what advantage that might give you. Maybe it'd help you would last longer with more stamina throughout the day or the competition, but I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, again, it's like that drug that Lance Armstrong took, to put more, to let your body recover quicker from a Tour de France.
Yes.
And that was well hidden.
True, for
But-
recovery.
For recovery, so you can get more air, and so when you go to high climbs in the Tour de France, you could breathe easier than your competition. The same with this, but drugs still the Dragon Boat is still, I shouldn't say in infancy because it's been around 2,000 years, but from a standpoint of world stage, we have a long way to go, and so we haven't reached the point where the top 10 teams are going to be tested all the time. I mean, if you look at tennis right now, I mean, you take the top tennis males and females. I mean, they're almost checked every week. People don't even realize how much. Even the top golfers, it's very hush hush. They're tested all the time. Dragon Boat's still got a ways to go. We're still, it's still pretty healthy, I would say. I think people, we haven't reached a point where people are saying that when you practice so much, you can tell how far you are. If a team is really in front of you or beats you every single time, then you raise the red flag and say, wait a minute. The timing always has been, minute 55 for 500 meters, and they're coming in at 140, 45, 10 seconds better. That's unbelievable.
Right.
Then you raise a red flag. We haven't reached that stage.
But we haven't really seen that type of spread with
No.
the competition here.
No.
I mean, there's no one really standing out as like like a boom, boom, boom.
No.
So it's been pretty spread out from all of our
Right.
13 countries here.
Right, I know.
And we're coming to you live from Lake Lanier, which is about 50 miles north of Atlanta, Georgia. at the site of the 1996 Summer Olympic Games, the Centennial Games, as a matter of fact. This was the venue which still stands today, which is with world-class flat water right back here, has allowed us to have this event here. And it probably was one of the great attractions for the ICF in bringing it here to America for the very first time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect venue. I mean, during the course of the next 2 days, we're going to have roving people going around to show you the stands. I mean, we have an area right here where people can sit and watch the race almost, right on top of it. So you really can't ask for a better facility than this.
No, you can't. And not only that, we have great weather, too. Even though Hurricane Florence is off the coast, has yet to make a turn. We're watching the weather, but the weather here is beautiful. Sunny skies, 86 degrees, a breeze blowing off the lake. So it's perfect for day one of our 4-day competition here.
It is. So I think right now, why don't we take, let's say, a 5-minute break?
All right, I'm all for it.
The next race will be in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
What they're doing now is staggering the races 3:30, 3:50, and 4:20. So they're not every 10 minutes to 15 minutes, okay? So we have a little bit difference in timing. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll get back to you shortly.
ICF World Dragon Boat Race Championships. And we have an exciting race coming up here, Taco.
2 races left. We have 2 races. The next race, we have 2 boats in the USA, lane 2 and 3. Italy is lane 4, and then 5 and 6 we have Canada. It's not a final or a semifinal. It's a mixed race over 40. So it should be exciting. And then we have one final race at 4:20, and that will be Philippines, Czechoslovakia, and Germany. And that will conclude the racing for today.
And then we'll have a medal ceremony somewhere shortly thereafter, hopefully, that we can bring you. I'm Tom Sullivan along with Taco Proper, and we are so excited to be coming to you live, as I said, from Gainesville, Georgia, about 50 miles north of Atlanta, Georgia, where this is the site of just world-class flat water, perfect for this event, the first time ever in America. And we've been having some great results today all across the board.
All across. If we can take the feed back to the start line, I just saw a quick. There we go. They can do like 10 fast strokes, and then they go into racing speed. You see that? Look at the way they go.
Yeah, they're trucking right now.
So to get the boat stationary to go takes a lot of effort. And once they go, they go.
Canada 40 plus, lane 5, and Canada 50 plus, lane 6.
So I'm really looking forward, like we've been talking about, to the 2,000 meters, which is coming up on tomorrow afternoon, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, the 2,000. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. As I said, we have 2 more races to go. This is one. We have one more after this. As you can see, the conditions here are still very good. We are monitoring Hurricane Florence, every half hour. We have top meteorologists in Atlanta, Georgia, which are feeding our race director information all the time. And so we will address that, at the appropriate time in the next day or so.
So if I'm correct, this is race number 29. We're watching the 20-seater.
Right. This is 29, race 29.
40 plus men,
Right.
500 meters. And USA, 2 teams. Actually, we got 2 from USA, right? And 2 from Canada.
There's just a shot of lane of 5. You can see the drummer not only shouting, but drumming at the same time. So
That's great. This is great.
this looks like a very tight race. USA is in lane 2 and 3.
So Italy right now looks to be in
lane 4. Lane 4 is Italy.
Italy.
A surprise. Look at that. Italy's going to take it. And the race is for 3rd place right now. Lane 3 is USA, and then between lane 1 and lane 4. So it's either USA or Canada. And I think the USA just got it. So I think it was Italy number 1, then the US.
That was exciting.
That was good. And then we have one more race up to this, a final race, and that will conclude today. Again, we'd like to talk about our sponsors who this event and this day and all around us, there's many people around us which you don't see. We have to be very thankful. And we're going to go to an interview in a minute, so just stay put. Why don't you talk about...
well, you mentioned our sponsors, and we couldn't do this without Springer Mountain Farms out of Gainesville, Georgia, a local poultry producer, but raising chickens with love, certified by the American Humane Association, and just really grateful for their sponsorship. And of course, our friends at Ivester Foundation and Champion as well, all bringing you the Dragon Boat races. I love the behind-the-scenes opportunities here at the Dragon Boats.
We're going to cut into the VIP lounge here in about 5 seconds to give you an overview outside of the view that you have behind us, another part of the area.
It's right over here. It's hot. Take a look.
All right, guys, we're hanging out in the VIP tent with some athletes. We got Italy right here hanging out. They're just chilling. They're hanging out. We got USA over here. They're hanging out. This is a place where our athletes can relax, get something to drink. We've got some slushies and some donuts right over here. I'm going to show you. Guys, this looks absolutely amazing. So I'm going to see actually if we've got any takers. Whoa, I almost dropped them, which would have been scary. All right, slushies, anybody? Team USA? Everybody's doing? See, everybody's feeling good. Everybody's feeling good. How are you feeling? You're kind of in here. You're chilling. You're hanging out. You feeling all right now?
Feels good.
Yeah, she's feeling good. She's feeling really good. All right, Team USA is just hanging out. And I want to bring you over here to a friend of mine. I don't know actually where. I think she's around here somewhere. Judy, come on over here. Judy is a volunteer here this week, and we're so happy that you're here. We have so many volunteers. We couldn't make it happen without you. And I want to know, what made you want to come out and go ahead and volunteer for the Dragon Boat races?
Well, I have an identical twin sister that is racing, and this is her passion, and I just wanted to give back to her and all the other athletes here.
Yeah. Well, I love that you're out here and you're volunteering, supporting your sister. She actually just was in the race. You got to watch her. So how proud are you hanging out watching your twin sister? Hey, Italy's here. They're hanging out.
Very
Italy,
proud.
Italy.
I mean, I was in tears just thinking about it. So I'm just so proud of her.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for volunteering your time, and congratulations to your sister for being here, making it happen. I know she appreciates the support. And guys, we're having a good time right here, hanging out in the VIP tent with all of our amazing athletes.
That is so much fun. What up, Greer? Having fun in the VIP tent with Team USA and, of course, all of our athletes.
It's right next to us, right here.
Yeah, we
So,
can hear the excitement over there. Those slushies, though, I'm a little, because last night we had slushies with a little bit of spirits added, if you know what I mean. But I'm sure those were virgin and free of that because until after 5 o'clock.
I know. It's a great lounge. We have cheese trays. We have Coca-Cola's giving products from Coke. And some of our other sponsors are donating cheese and crackers.
Yeah.
And trail
mix, the checks, everything you need to be a champion.
What we do have, I mean, outside of the VIP tent, we will show this in the next couple of days, the teams from the different countries are housed under 2 very big tents. And we will go over there in the next day or so and show you where all the teams are staying. It's basically, it's like what they have, Tom, in the Olympics, an area for the...
like the village.
Like the village, like the village. So it's a village that's been made up over there where they don't want a lot of people roaming around, volunteers or whatever. This is their area to socialize with other countries and among themselves underneath 2 major tents. And so, as you said, it's like the village. It's like an area specifically for countries.
Yeah, I love Greer's going to head over there tomorrow and get a talk to some of the athletes, see what is in their head. Because, a lot of this is, when you come together as one team, you've got to have a straightforward thinking in your mind, because the head games we play with ourselves sometimes can really hold us back in performance.
Again, Tom brings up a very good topic, which we really haven't addressed the whole day about head games. There's a word that I use a lot. It's called trash talk, where if you have a boxer, you have 2 boxers, and they trash talk each other for 6 months. So you have a lot of fun trash talk, where the captain of the German team might send a email to the captain of the Italian team and say, look, you guys, you don't have to show up. I mean, we already have the medal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that goes on even at this level, and it's fun. But it's fun. People always have their ego. The Swiss ego is bigger than my ego. And there's trash talk even today. They said, look, you don't have to really go in the boat today. I've heard some things behind my back, because basically we already have the first, second, third place. So unless so it motivates people even more to say, look, we want to be captain of this team.
But even in fun, that can help. That can kind of downplay your whole spirit for a little bit. But
So we're going to do a walkthrough. Why don't you go through that?
okay, cool. So we're going to take a walkthrough. Whereabouts are we doing a walkthrough? At what location here, you guys? Is that what something? Take a look at this.
All right, Taco Tom, I'm hanging
the
out in the
souvenir
gift shop.
Here we are.
And so
We're
a
at
couple
the
things I want to make
souvenir
sure
shop
you
right
guys
now.
know
I
about while
love
you're
it. What's
here
real?
at Lake Lanier. Right here, it is a little warm. So let's talk about keeping cool with some towels right here. These have been really popular with our crew, I know today, and a lot of the people out here at the lake. Also, it's sunny, so you need a hat or a visor. We can definitely take care of all that. And I got my eyes feasted on this right here. So we've got our ICF Dragon Boat World Championships official t-shirt right here. And check out the back. Guys, this is so cool. I love the design. They did a great job with it. It looks really, really good. So I know that you want to support, so you can come and get that. And that comes in all sizes. We even have youth sizes if you want to get one for the little kiddos. Also, Team USA, we got so many fans of Team USA that's here today. So we've actually got another special shirt just to represent our Team USA right here. And we're just kind of hanging out. And I want to show you before we go, guys, and you're going to be really excited about this, actually. So we've got this local farm, J. Moore Farms. And I don't know if you've ever been there, but it is so much fun to go to. And we've got so many delicious things that you can get from there. So Vidalia onion, barbecue sauce. We've got peach preserves, peach salsa. All right, check this out right here. Peach butter with honey.
What?
Yes, please. I tell you what, there are so many yummy things. We got corn salsa, all the good stuff. And you know what? Some peanut brittle right here from J. Moore Farms. So we've got a lot of really good stuff here in the gift shop. So make sure to check it out before you leave. And guys, Taco and Tom, I'm bringing you back some of that peanut butter with honey because you know it's delicious because it's from right here in Georgia.
Yes, Greer. That is so awesome. Taco, I love that. Okay, so she's in the souvenir shop. I was over there shopping for you and your wife, and I almost bought you the apple cider donuts. Apple cider infused donuts, Taco. Yes.
The problem is my wife would never speak to you because I need to lose weight. But anyway, to our audience, our next race will be at around 4:20.
Yeah.
We will be back in the air at about 4:15. We're going to take a little bit of a break. It's a lull right now, a lull in activities. The teams are getting ready to go. This is the final race of the day, which we have the Philippines, Czech Republic, and Germany.
Wow.
So give us a few minutes. We'll be back approximately around 4:15.
Yeah. Use the hashtag Dragon Boat World 2018. Yes. Hashtag. You know, Taco, I love that perspective we just saw there of a different camera angle. We're always bringing you new angles here from the 2018 World Championship Dragon Boat Races, coming to you live from Lake Lanier Olympic Park up in Gainesville, Georgia, about an hour north of Atlanta, Georgia, and the first time in America, and what a great first day this has been of this amazing 4-day competition.
I think it's been very successful. One thing about the start here, this is our last race of the day. We have Philippines, Czechoslovakia, and Germany.
Wow, that's going to be a great race.
Senior mixed.
Yeah.
One thing always at the start of races I want to point out, like in an amateur, from a standpoint of amateur racing, you have a starter which controls the boats at the start. So on this one, at the World Championships, we have a ramp for each boat. So each boat is exactly positioned to go. So no one can have, say, that boat A or B or C had an advantage over anybody else. Right now, we load the boats, and then the paddlers and the boats go approximately 500 feet, warm up to the start, and they make a circle. They go from our docks right in front of us, up on the right side, and they bend over, and you see the little platforms there in front of you.
Right.
Each one is designated to the rows 1 through 6, and the boat has got to be at a certain position there, so no boat is 1 foot or 2 foot ahead or behind any other boat. So it's a start where it's all even. It's on an even platform.
So the platform is merely just to help line up. Is that correct?
Yes, to line up, and otherwise, if that wasn't there, it would have to be done by an individual saying,
or buoy or something, maybe.
Saying boat 2 go back, boat 3 go forward, boat 4 stay. So this way, at this level of championship, the highest in the world, there cannot be any confusion on the start, and so this takes it away. The boats are lined up perfectly. The lineup of boats is paramount for racing. So a team from whatever team can't say, look, they had an unfair advantage. They started 10 feet in front of us.
So who are the 3
We have the
teams here?
Philippines, Czechoslovakia, and Germany, and this is the final race of the day. They're getting.
Who's in lane 3 here?
Lane 3 is Philippines. Lane
Okay.
4 is Czechoslovakia.
I love
5
the
is
bright
Germany.
yellow of the Philippine
Yeah.
athletes. I think that's
And you see the ref there in the boat behind.
Right.
It's one of the people to make sure that everything is in accordance with the rules. And of course, as we said before, each of the races are followed by 1 to 2 boats for safety, in case somebody falls off, in case something happens in any form or fashion. We have somebody there within seconds to help whatever happens.
And I love I see the drummer there in front, which is an integral part, along with the steerman in the back.
Right.
Controlling, really, giving out the gear changes to the athletes.
Right.
And of course, the drummer helping maintain the pace.
And you see the boat there. We had an incident about 4 years ago where one of the over 60 racers in an amateur event had a heart attack on the boat. And we had a medical person there within less than a minute and saved his life.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So here we go.
Yeah, this is a great
it's
race.
a quick start. See
Yeah,
how
look at
quick
that.
it is?
Yeah,
Look
boy,
at
they're
that.
gaining. Look, Philippines
See how
right out in front.
See how together they are? They're all leading into it.
That's a great shot.
This is a final. This is a very big deal, this race. This is for a medal. This is to go back to your country and say, here's the medal for gold, silver, and bronze. Okay, it comes down to these three, and this is the senior mixed, 500 meter.
Got a wide shot so we can kind of see the field.
And it's been open today. We've had the Philippines win. We've had Italy. We've had America. And so, which I thought would be maybe a great horse, has not been like that. So a lot of teams from different countries have won.
It's great to see how tight the race is right now. Pretty much most everyone, from our vantage point here, is within a partial boat length, give or take. But they always break away when they change the gear speed and then get towards the finish line, Taco.
Yeah, they've added 2 more boats, I've noticed.
Look at that. Oh, there's definitely, well, the Philippines looks like they're still out in front.
Yeah, they've added some boats to this race. It wasn't on our last update. So,
So,
we apologize for that.
Philippines still in the lead, and looks like they're breaking away slightly. So this is where the heart's coming into play,
the
Taco.
Philippines is still, that's what I said.
Yes. They're churning it out.
America is in lane 6.
Look at that. Look at that. Boy, the Philippines are just on fire.
And Czechoslovakia. So it's against 2 and 4. You see the stroke of the Philippines?
Yes,
Look at that.
yes,
See that?
yes, yes.
Compared to the other one?
Wow, that was an awesome race. I have goosebumps.
America's coming in.
Dragon bumps. That was a great race for me. I
That
love
was
that
a
one.
good race.
There was
the
a lot of
Philippines,
energy and
too.
excitement.
You see the stroke
Yes.
of the difference between the Philippines and the other teams.
Yes.
That stroke there, the very quick stroke, is very Asian. More so, the American stroke is longer, but the Asian strokes are shorter and quicker.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremonies will begin in 10 minutes.
All right.
So now,
We ask all the medalist teams to be ready for their ceremony and to gather at the bottom of the finish tower
Oh, good.
at least 15 minutes before their medal ceremony.
Good, good.
right now, the races have concluded for the day, and now we're going to do the medal ceremony, Tom.
It's great, Taco. Listen, we're going to be here tomorrow and Saturday, and weather permitting on Sunday. Of course, as Hurricane Florence makes its way closer to the coast and it makes a turn, we'll have a better idea of what the weather situation is as we go on throughout each day. But follow us along on using the hashtag DragonBoatWorld2018, and keep following us here on Slido.com, SLIDO.com, or go to our corporate sponsor, which is Springer Mountain Farms website. It's SpringerMTN.com. There you can find links to other social media platforms broadcasting the World Championships of the Dragon Boat races.
Right, yeah. So right now we're going to have the medal ceremony. There are no more races today, and we will be back on air tomorrow morning, approximately at 8 o'clock, all the way through around 4:30 tomorrow. And so this concludes our telecast for today.
It was an amazing time, and thank you so much for watching. Tell your friends, post on social media, and join us here tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. And, of course, send us your questions. We'll answer them on air. Again, go to Slido.com and then use the hashtag DragonBoatWorld2018. And we look forward to interacting with you for our 2018 World Championship Dragon Boat races here for the first time in America. I'm Tom Sullivan, along with Taco Proper.
We're glad to be here with you, and we've hoped that we've enlightened you today on our telecast.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.
Thank you
Medal
very
ceremony
much.
coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists